everybody, and welcome to our brand new Saturday football show with myself and, of course, none other than the Don Robbie.
Building. SFS.
SFS. We are finally live. We've literally been talking about this moment for so long.
Yeah.
Finally got our new set ready. Hope you all like the set. I think it looks pretty cool.
I think, honestly, it looks wicked. You know what I mean? The logo, the design. I'm happy.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah, I know. We're
silky
working.
as like it.
DR Sports rebranding.
Yeah, proper professional setup as well. Really like it. Yeah.
Good. Okay, well, we might as well introduce you guys. I mean, whoever just came off of the previous watch along, you would have seen these two.
Yep.
We have Saeed. Hi.
I'm good. Good to be back. I feel like I live here now. You know what I mean? I love London. You know what I mean? I don't miss Manchester a lot, but yeah, good to be on here and. Let's hopefully my team cannot embarrass me today. That's all I want today, not to be embarrassed.
I'm sure they will.
You know what I mean?
And of course, Lewis, hi.
Oh, I'm in a great mood.
Yeah.
What a great start to the weekend as well. So Leicester City put in a pack. Chelsea, top of the league, comfortably top of the league as well. Perfect start. Great to be here.
We're going to talk all about that, aren't we? So basically what we're going to be talking about amongst obviously covering all the 3 o'clock games, we're going to be giving you scores updates from the Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2 as well. Season is back after international break and we've got a long time till the next one. We've got till March, so no more breaks. And there's a host of new managers coming into the mix today. Obviously Eddie Howe away with coronavirus, but we've got so much to talk about. So we're going to kick off first of all with lineups. Rob, could you give us Newcastle?
Yeah, let's run through some of the lineups of some of the games that are kicking off at 3 o'clock. The first game I'm going to talk about, Newcastle versus Brentford. Now, of course, Eddie Howe in charge, brand new manager of Newcastle. Only thing is, he ain't there.
Yeah.
Right?
What a shame.
Because unfortunately he's got coronavirus, so get well soon to him. But in goal for Newcastle is Doyle. They've got back three of Shah, Lascelles and Clark. Then they've got Murphy, Willock, Shelvey and Ritchie. Willock still ain't scored a goal for them, you know. Joe Linton, Wilson and St. Maximin. That is their team. Newcastle really need a win, you know. They really need to start getting to win because they might get all them billions in the Championship. And the Brentford team is Fernandes in goal, Roslev, Janssen, Pinnock, Canos, Norgard, Janelt, Henry, Mbembo, Goodos, and down the middle, Ivan Toney.
Okay.
So that's the lineup for them.
All right, moving on to Aston Villa versus Brighton. Villa.
Gerrard.
Yeah.
Gerrard's first game.
Massive moment for him. Villa Park will be rocking, absolutely rocking. They've gone for a 4-3-3. They've got Martinez in goal, Cash, Konsa, Mings and Target at the back, McGinn, Nakamba, Jay Ramsey, Buendia, Watkins and Ings up front. For Brighton, they've gone with a 3-5-2, Steele in goal, Lamptey, Dunk and Duffy, Lallana, Gross, Bissouma, Webster, Cucurella, Moda and Trossard.
Okay, big game, I think. One of the games kicking off at 3 o'clock is Wolves versus West Ham. I'll tell you what, West Ham been playing well. Wolves on a good run as well. This their lineup in goal, Malero, Kilman, Cody and Seiss. Of course, the legendary back three that Wolves always go with. Nelson Semedo, Neves, Matinho, Ait Nouri, Podence, Hwang Hee, and up front, Jimenez. And the West Ham team is Fabianski in goal, Johnson, Zuma and Dawson. Remember, there's no Bonner. He's out for the season, man. Really, out for the season, yeah. Cresswell, Souček, Rice, Bowen, Fornals, who's been on great form, Ben Rama and Mikel Antonio. Did you see that goal he scored the other day for Jamaica? What a goal.
Insane goal. Right, on to Watford. They're going with a 4-1-4-1. Interesting formation. They've gone Foster.
It's the big one.
Yeah,
the big one.
Not sure about that.
Relegation dogfight.
I wish.
This one you might want to lose, right?
Well, no, you know what I mean? It's just like Ollie, he doesn't know what he's doing anyway, to be honest with you.
He's at the wheel. Foster, Firmino, Cathcart and Kulu, Messina, Sissoko, Sarr, Luzak, Cleverley, Dennis and King. And for Manchester United, they've gone De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Matic, Sancho, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Another strong team. No, what's the name?
No Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood, apparently it's COVID,
COVID.
Norwich versus Southampton. Another new manager.
Dean
Smith. Right? out of a job for 8 days. and
Unemployed
then
for the shortest amount of time ever.
it's mad.
Surely
right?
that's a record that they've
I said
broken.
I did a video yesterday, and I said you sack a manager who's just won a game, and replace him with a manager
Who's just
who's just lost his last 5 games.
Norwich are just hella desperate.
Anyway,
bro.
this is the Norwich team. Krul in goal, Aarons, Hanley, Gibson, Williams, Norman, McLean, Cantwell, Gilmore, Rashika and Pookie up front. And the Southampton team, Norwich playing Southampton, McCarthy, Livramento, your guy.
What a guy.
Chelsea guy.
Livramento v Gilmore, let's go.
Salusi, Bednarak, Walker-Peters, Diallo, Ward-Prowse, Romeo, Elanusi, Armstrong and Adams up front. Adams who's been on form at the moment. So that is their team.
Okay, and finally on to Burnley in their 4-4-2. They've got Nick Pope in goal, Loughton, Tarkowski, me, Taylor, Goodmanson, Westwood, Brownhill, McNeil, Cornet and Wood up top. And Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira, who are flying. They've gone Guaita in goal, Ward, Anderson, Guehi, Mitchell, Gallagher, Milivojevic, Kouyaté, Ayew, Benteke and Wilf Zaha. So... lots of things, lots of interesting lineups.
Interesting games.
Interesting games that we're going to get into. But first of all, you guys were obviously on the earlier stream, Leicester versus Chelsea. Let's go with you first, because you're so happy.
Smile on his face.
Talk to me about Chelsea.
I'll be real, I expected a harder game from Leicester City, but Leicester was so poor and it made it easy for us to control them. But I have to give Chelsea credit as well because they were all over Leicester City from the first minute to the last. We controlled the tempo of the game, we controlled possession, we were constantly making chances. The passing from the defenders, all 3 of them were just ridiculous and it kept cutting Leicester City open. And the only bad thing about the game is we probably could have got more. Like, we saw the 3 offside goals in 5 minutes. That really could have been 6 or 7-0 if we were a little bit more clinical in the second half. We didn't fall to the offside trap. But we were all over Leicester City and it's the sore performance from them that's making me question their manager because I've never seen Leicester City start a season this poorly in years. And everything about them was just off, like the patterns of play, the decision-making, the tactics, the set-piece management. Everything was off.
Is his mind on other things?
No, he shouldn't be.
But
He's been trying to push Rodgers as far away from United as possible.
Keep the wheel in Leicester. That's all I'm saying.
Really?
You wouldn't have him?
Nah, mate. Are you mad? I think it's a glorified Ollie.
You wouldn't think anyone's better,
No, listen, mate. He's a glorified Ollie, man.
How could
I'm
you
not
say
having
that, Saeed? He's actually one thing.
That is one thing. Arteta's won the FA Cup, and where are they?
The disrespect.
Arteta-
Better than Ollie.
Hey,
He's better than Ollie.
Better than Ollie. I want better than Tuchel, Guardiola, and Klopp.
You can't
I'm
get
not
better
here
than
for
Tuchel,
short
man. Come
term.
on.
For me, Arteta won an FA Cup. They finished twice, 8th. I know they're doing well now, and we hold your horses. But for me, I don't want a manager who's just better than Ollie. I want a manager who can compete with the best. Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, but good for Leicester, good for down there, whoever's down there, Celtic. For me, Manchester United, we demand
You're down
the
there
best.
with them, bro.
Sorry?
You're down there with them, bro.
Listen, they're 12th. And we're what? 6th or something? 8th,
Okay,
yeah,
but
well, I don't know where we
Just to
are.
ask you a question, right? Because at the beginning of the season, there's no way you would have been saying that about Brendan Rodgers.
No,
okay?
but no.
And hold on a sec,
Yeah.
right? So you've looked at what he's done at various different clubs he's been at. Okay,
Yeah.
he could have won the league with Liverpool way back when, right?
Coulda,
with the
woulda,
squad that
shoulda.
they had.
Yeah.
Okay. And what he's done with Leicester,
Yeah.
and yes, they have a great budget. Yes, they spend really well, but it's not in comparison to the United side and the budget that you guys have. And he plays great football. They're in a rut at the moment, but he does play very good football. So what is it? If he had your squad, surely you would back him to do a good job.
Absolutely. Listen, if he comes to the job, I'm powerless. The Glazers will pick whoever they want. But if you ask me right now, I don't want Brendan Rodgers. It was nearly, it was a Gerrard slip away from the league title. But then he flopped. He was sacked the next season. I think Jurgen Klopp came in October. He was out for a job. He came in Leicester now. He's done well. But I think the ceiling's there at Leicester already. People are leaving 10 minutes before the game. Recently, Lewis, people were leaving. I nearly left after the 5-0. So am I leaving then? Against the next season when we get thrashed by Chelsea.
No, but hold on. Remember, he's got a team. He's got less, even though he's fallen short in the last couple of seasons, right? Look at this squad.
Yeah.
That's why they've fallen short.
I'm not
but
sure
the guy
about
won
that.
the FA
What
Cup.
does Rodgers do with your
He
squad?
won the Community Shield.
Your squad should never be falling short.
No. It should be never falling short, but as well, he's got to manage the egos. Can he manage that? I'm not sure he can. I think there was a few rumours at Liverpool that he couldn't manage their players, you know what I mean? So, end of the day for me, right, Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, but not good enough for me at United. I'll back him, but I'm sorry. I called out Ollie after a year in charge and I was proven right. So end of the day, I'll be proven right again. I know, because I know what the level of football is at United.
Right,
and we want to play entertaining football.
Let's put a pin in this, because we're going to talk more about that after your game kicks off, about what's going to happen next with Ollie. But let's just talk about Leicester for a sec. Did you see any positive signs at all from Leicester? Because they're in a really bad run of form at the moment.
Genuinely nothing. Like, it took them 57 minutes, maybe more, to get their first shot, let alone shot on target. Genuinely couldn't find their way into the attacking third. Whenever they tried to transition, their play was just horrendous. Playing out at the back, they just kept giving the ball away. Positional awareness of our players, they struggled 1v1. Like, every aspect of their game was just subpar. Like, I'm really not doing this to just cuss out Leicester City, but they were awful. Every part of the pitch, they were terrible. There was no redeeming factor in that game. The only lucky thing is they only finished 3-0.
Okay.
There's nothing to them.
What about from a Chelsea standpoint then? Where do you see Chelsea finishing?
It's got to be top of the table right now. There's no reason not to be confident. We had the little slip up against Manchester City, but Tuchel isn't perfect. It is what it is. We set out the wrong way. I don't think we'll make that same mistake twice. It is what it is. But other than that, every single opposition we face, we've been dominant against them. There's been games where we've been poor in the first half, but Tuchel's game management always turns the game around every single time. Even Leicester City, the third goal came from Pulisic and Ziyech, which was his two substitutes. The Malmo game, when we couldn't break them down, he switched Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi, and they both linked up for the first goal.
Yeah.
Newcastle, we sub off Ziyech, we sub off Kante, we score 48 seconds afterwards. Tottenham, when we can't break them down, he brings on N'Golo Kante and we just dominate their midfield and
What a
blitz
goal
them.
from Kante today.
Yeah, and it's just every single time we seem to turn things around, whether we're already in the lead or whether we're chasing a game. That's the deciding factor for me when it comes to Chelsea as opposed to Man City or Liverpool. It's game management. It's being able to change a game when you see a change that's necessary. We've had Lampard, we've had Conte, we've had Sarri. Three very stubborn managers. Great in their own right, but still very stubborn. They always stick to their plans. They always make late subs. Tuchel, if he sees a mistake, he does it at half-time. And I think that's going to be the difference in the title race.
All right. We're going to predict.
Yes, we are.
Prediction in. We'll predict your game.
I can't do as bad as I did last time.
Watford versus.
We're not doing every game because there's
What game
we
you
are
got?
going to be predicting Villa versus Brighton.
Yeah.
Norwich. Saeed needs that pen. Oh no, you need that pen.
Do we get a prize for this or what?
You just get to have
Already got a pen.
the knowledge that you do
Bragging
well.
rights.
Right, so
Okay.
we are going to be doing Villa versus Brighton, Norwich versus Southampton, Watford versus United, and Wolves versus West Ham. Remember, 2 of those games have a brand new manager in charge. So we're going to jot these down, and what we're going to do is go back to them at the end after the 3 o'clocks. And then we'll be able to see if he was right.
Cool.
I'm just gutted we didn't document my 3-2 West Ham Liverpool.
You said 3. You thought they beat.
Yeah,
thought they beat them?
we clipped it.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I clipped it.
Okay.
Right.
There you go. Done mine. You're gonna do it like a reveal.
Yes, we'll do a grand reveal at the end. I don't think these necessarily match.
Oh, at the end. You don't want to do it now.
No. We're going to do them at the end of the end.
Okay.
At the end of the show.
Cool.
So
Okay.
stay tuned. Obviously, guys, put in your predictions as well into the chat. We will have a look at some of those. Make sure that they're hidden from your fellow.
But you know your game. I'm just going back to it. If he loses today, do you reckon they'd sack him?
No.
You don't?
No.
Do you think they'd keep... If he lost today away at Watford,
Yeah.
you think the Glazers would keep Ollie? No, surely he'd have to go.
Ollie,
Surely.
Robbie, you don't know who these guys are. They don't care. For me, even if you lost 3-0
No.
today. No, Robbie, honestly, I've seen the worst game of my life. 5-0.
Do
That
not
was
sack
sackable.
Ollie until next week, personally.
Well, you know what I mean?
Just saying.
I don't care, to be honest with you. But for me, I seen the worst game ever against our arch rivals. It was 5-0. It should have been sackable in itself. If you can't go lower than that, for me, this is Watford's just another game for them. And they'll look at another game, they'll say, you know what, Chelsea bounced back. He's staying to the end of the season. For me, he's almost interim to the end of the season. It's funny, isn't it? How ironic. He started off as interim, and now he's ended as interim. It's mad, isn't it? What do you think of it? It's now, because the Glazers can't make a decision. They don't know who to get. I want Zidane, but obviously he's going to take a while to come.
That's who you
I want
like.
Zidane, Zizou.
If it ain't
You know what I
Zidane, who then?
Yeah.
You don't
Zidane.
want Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah. Zidane, then it would be Ten Hag.
Ten Hag.
Yeah,
Okay.
them two. You know what I mean?
Hold on, wait. You see, this is what I'm talking about, though. Really and truly, Ten Hag. Why would Ten Hag be better than Brendan Rodgers?
Because he's got a pedigree in Europe. He's done it on the biggest, highest stage possible.
Where?
When he beat, was it Real Madrid, Juventus? You know, he's shown it on the highest level. Brendan Rodgers has shown it in patches in the Premier League and respectfully. But Ten Hag has got, for me, a standard where he's respected.
I would say, respectfully, they also got knocked out in the last 30 seconds against Spurs in the Champions League, semi-final. One where they were 3-0 up.
Exactly. You're talking about slip-ups. He bottled it.
But were they ever meant to be in that semi-finals, though? We look at Ajax,
Spurs?
the minnows of Ajax, the youngsters that they had, Van der Beek.
But you can't say that, you can't say that they weren't meant to be
They
there,
had a
though.
good side.
Yeah, but they had a young side,
Ziyech.
though. A young side that barely generates any money. Leicester have got a squad which they spend money. You know, it's not as if Ajax have got. They've literally got youngsters in their team. They built it through the academy. They know what they're doing, and it's built from his almost philosophy. Brendan Rodgers, I'm not saying he's a bad manager, people. For the people that come at me in the comments, I'm just saying he's not my fit, and I'll back him when it comes to him. But I want to manage.
He's another Ollie.
Sorry,
You said he's another Ollie.
He's a glorified Ollie. So it's
disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
That is.
It's not. It's really
You
not.
can't say I think he's a good manager and then say he's another
No, but
Ollie.
but in terms of when it gets to the matters the most, in the Premier League, FA Cup, again, I can't really judge that because
Ten Hag was the same with him.
He's won
when
the
he
Premier
got
League, the Dutch League. How many times has he won it?
How many times did Brendan Rodgers win the Scottish
Yeah, but
League?
the Dutch League and the Scottish League.
But they're comparable.
You know, you should get.
Are you telling me the Dutch League is better?
I think your argument is flawed.
Rob, you have to be
heavily.
careful what you say there.
You should get
Is the
detail.
Dutch League better than the Scottish
No,
League?
when I say comparable, there's only a couple of teams that win that league. Isn't
Yeah.
there?
PSV, you're looking at
PSV,
Yeah.
Ajax, maybe final. That's it.
That's it.
No. There's
Right?
a couple.
Who
Alkmaar,
else?
I think.
When's the last time AZ?
I think Vincent.
When did Alkmaar win it?
Put it this
2007
way.
they won the league, I think.
All right, Vincent Janssen.
2007.
Yeah, but
So
FC 20
that's what I'm saying to you. The quality. You've got to look at the quality and how it
look at the team that beat
translates.
Tottenham away. You know, who was that team that beat
Vitesse.
Tottenham away?
Vitesse.
Yes,
You know,
because
look
they've got
at
all
the-
Big
Chelsea
up,
players.
That's
big
it,
up
we-
Vitesse, Chelsea Academy.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah, Chelsea
Come
feeder.
on.
Scottish, it's Rangers of Scotland.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
Rangers and Celtic, and then in the Dutch league, it's
Come on,
Ajax,
it's the level of
Ajax
football. though.
possibly,
It's the level of football.
Ajax,
the highest
PSV,
standard.
and
It's the standard of football as well.
Right, pause this for a sec because it is now 3:01, so the 3 o'clocks have now kicked
Yeah,
off.
it's kicked off anyway. I
We're
need
going to
to
move
watch the
into
game.
Championship quickly and talk about those fixtures. But guys, on Top Squad from the last stream, well done to you guys who won the prize in that game. You can play every game day watch along on the Don Robbie Extra web app. Right, let's talk about Championship quickly. I'm just going to read you some fixtures. Huddersfield versus West Brom, Swansea v Blackpool, Bristol City versus Blackburn Rovers, Reading versus Nottingham Forest, Preston v Cardiff, Middlesbrough v Millwall, Hull City v Birmingham, Fulham v Barnsley, and Stoke versus Peterborough. Tomorrow we've got Derby County against Bournemouth, who top the table. Any interesting ties in there for you guys?
Derby already relegated, and it got more points deducted.
Not looking
man,
good.
Imagine playing
They're
for them.
finished.
Not
Imagine
looking
playing
That's
for
got
them.
to be the
Imagine
most
being a fan.
demoralising season.
We moan about our team sometimes, right? Imagine being a fan of Derby.
You got 6,
Imagine
8 months of
The
football. and you just
Saeed
know you're
equivalent
going
at
down.
Derby.
Oh, mate.
Derby fan TV would be on a madness.
Oh my God.
Hey, it'd be madness. That's why I say perspective, but still, though, you know what I mean? When I'm seeing the likes of Liverpool and City come and they call it a training ground, for me, I can't accept that. I can't. Honestly.
By the way, lots of comments coming in. Just jump into
Go
a
on,
couple
yeah,
of
go
those,
for
Abbi. Big up to the therapist. He says a dope set. A lot of people liking the set. Thank you very much for that.
Set is clean.
Saeed talking facts. Big up, says Chi. Saeed is real, says Ishmael. So you got a couple of people
Told
backing
you,
you. Kumaran says Brendan Rodgers is literally Ollie at his prime as a manager. We don't need him. And yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wouldn't you
That
want
is
prime
ridiculous.
Ollie?
It's an outrageous statement. Outrageous statement.
London is Blue says love from Chicago here. He's
Come on,
He's
let's
obviously
go.
going to have a good weekend, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's the best games to win it. It's like
early
you
kickoff.
win that early kickoff.
I know
and
you just chill.
You just chill for the rest
Yeah,
of the
yeah, of
weekend.
course.
And
No, you know
everyone's
what the best
panicking
game.
about
You know
our
what the best
results.
game to win on a weekend is?
Sunday.
No,
I think Sunday
Friday.
4:30.
no, Friday night.
Friday
You
night.
win a Friday. If you lose a Friday night game, I remember that first game of the season when Arsenal played Brentford.
Brentford, oh my
My
God.
God,
yeah.
man, it's miserable. But if you win a Friday night game, you literally just kick back like
Yeah, that's it. Chill.
Like, oh, so who
drinks
you got
out,
playing on the
just chill.
weekend?
Yeah.
He's chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah, loads of comments coming in. Ollie's at the wheel, says London's Blue as well. Who else we got here?
Shea Adams.
Oh, is a goal gone in already?
There's a goal.
Goal already at Southampton.
There we go.
Wow.
Shea Adams on form, man.
Shea Adams. I said it.
Yeah, you said it.
Southampton.
Didn't he bag in the international break as well?
Yeah.
Yep. Southampton have been on good form.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
what sort of start is that for?
It's
Dean
not,
Smith?
but we're actually going to start talking about the managers. Any more comments to whiz through before we get on to that?
I'll do a couple more. Love the new set. Big up everyone. Ryan there with the super chat. There's so many coming in. I really
There's
appreciate
also been a
this.
goal in the Championship. Preston 1, Cardiff City 0 after 2 minutes. League 1, Cheltenham 0, Shrewsbury Town 1. And Stoke are 1-0 up against Peterborough as well. Right, let's talk about that. Norwich.
So just before that, Arian's saying that Hamilton on pole position for the Grand Prix. So well done to him. And Chabuddy says, big up the notorious Saeed.
Listen.
All right.
Notorious. Okay, so that early goal for Southampton, like we just mentioned, they've been on a really good run actually. Ralph Hasenhüttl gets quite a lot of stick. But do you know what? Good for him. Turned it around. Not a great start for Dean Smith. Was that not the right appointment?
I think Norwich beggars can't be choosers though, can they? He was going to come into that job. I think Dean Smith is a manager. You look.
Did you hear this guy?
This guy.
Listen, man, I wanted to slide that underneath. You know what I mean?
You don't want
You are
Brendan Rodgers.
shameless.
You don't want Brendan Rodgers, but beggars can't be choosers.
No,
Can't be
beggars,
bothered.
you know what I mean? They're begging now, you know what I mean? They're begging, you know, Norwich are begging. But Dean Smith, though, is a manager that I think they're looking after long term. He'll bring them back up from the Championship. You know, they knew they were going down. Everyone knows Norwich are going down. So it's the manner you go down. And then if you can go back up, I think they will do, but then they'll go back down again. So
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest are also 1-0 up away at Reading. It's interesting you say that, though, because Daniel Farke got his first win. You know, after all that time, got the win. And then you think, wow, I've just been sacked. So, like you said, it was a tough job to take. But I don't know, if you've just come off of that, you know, ordeal at Villa, why would you take that job within 8 days? Is it really the right thing to do?
Money, innit?
Either money or it's a point to prove. Because maybe he would have felt like there was more he could have done with the Aston Villa side. Because they're on an upward trajectory and they had a project that they had planned and he hasn't really had the chance to finish it.
Do you think they were right to sack him?
Who, Villa?
Villa.
Results weren't really doing that great, but it's still early on into the season. Like, I'm not too sure about it because you could have given him another month or two. But then maybe if you see something more in Steven Gerrard, maybe it would have made more sense to make the move earlier. Like, we're more ruthless in nature, so I can understand sacking managers a bit early. I'm not going to be I'll be the last guy to
Coming
judge
from
anyone
Chelsea,
on
yeah.
I
that.
don't know if people
Absolutely.
are bantering me here, but somebody's saying that Watford have got a penalty.
Let's wait and see
No,
what's going on.
I don't know if
Ben-
that's. I don't know if they're bantering me on.
We'll see what's going on. Huddersfield are 1-0 up at West Brom. Hartlepool 0, Forest Green 1, Bristol Rovers 1, Tranmere 0 as well. I think that you are correct about sacking managers quickly, but they lost Jack Grealish. You know, it's a massive thing to. I know they obviously spent the money quite well. They brought in Emi Buendia, Leon Bailey, the likes of that, Danny Ings, but they've also had big injuries. There is a penalty. There is a penalty at
Penalty at Watford. Penalty at Watford. It is
Saeed,
fact.
want one? Might as well, bro. It's going to be a long call.
Yeah, but you know what, Saeed, you've got to see the positives in this. And it's 1-1, Norwich
Yes,
versus
come on.
Southampton.
Norwich.
There we go,
Norwich.
straight back into it.
Well done to
Predictions.
Norwich, man. Well, the Dean Smith
saved
effect.
it.
The Dean
Smith
effect.
effect.
Absolutely waiting for this update right now for that Watford game. Bristol Rovers are 1-0 off against Tranmere. Watford,
What did you say?
Watford have
has
scored!
And it is
That's it.
Watford.
Saved
Watford
it.
won.
Manchester.
United 0.
Saeed, you've got to see the positives in this. If you don't want Ollie at the wheel, this is where the wheel's going to come off.
Wheels been off
Great
for like 3
start.
months.
Great start, mate.
This is
What-
where they
you know what I
burst
mean?
the tyre.
It's like we just are terrible, aren't we?
Oh
we
my
are
God.
terrible. Seriously, honestly, man. I just can't make
Kiko
it up, man.
Firmino with a goal.
Oh, I can't wait till next week. Famous last words, but we
Famous last one. Well, he might not be there next week,
Jesus.
you know. Then they might have that new manager bounce. So be careful what you
I
bitch
can't
for.
have that. I can't have that
What
because
can
Ollie
you do?
leaves with an unbeaten run against us in the league, and I can't tolerate that personally.
You gotta beat Watford, man. No,
What can we be? You know, we're down in the dungeons.
Can
I want
can
this
I
guy
change my
gone.
prediction now, or is it too late?
Hey? But I've gone for. No, you can't say it. Can we?
You can't
Kiko
say it
Firmino
just yet.
after 8 minutes.
And Teemu Pukki getting Norwich back into that game as well.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Jesus, I can't believe what I'm.
I can believe what I'm seeing.
I didn't have United to win this game. I'll be real.
Well, I can believe what I'm seeing, not because I think Watford are any good. I can believe what I'm seeing because I think the writing's been on the wall for such a long time with Manchester United. You know, that game in El Sacico against Spurs, and I'm very, very happy that we lost that. You know, I wasn't happy on the day, but I was very happy.
I've got to tell you, Saeed, right, in the comments, a lot of people reform 3D. Also, the Charlie George, they're saying "Viva Saeed."
Viva Saeed. Get Saeed. Saeed's at the wheel.
And
1-1 Norwich.
That was
that was already
4 minutes ago.
That was already.
That's right.
I've lost my head last week.
over the Watford
I'm just saying.
Palace have scored. Palace have scored.
Palace
have scored. Palace 1, Burnley 0. Christian Benteke after 8 minutes. Goals flying in.
Goals flying in, and it's so good. That start from Patrick Vieira carrying on.
Yeah, man, he's on fire. I'll
He's
tell you what.
a great manager. Learned from the best under Pep Guardiola, didn't he? Right, back to Norwich quickly. Do you think that? I mean, the style of play that
I think
Norwich,
they rescinded the goal.
There is something going on at Watford.
Oh, yeah, they have. You're right.
There is something
Right.
going on at Watford.
You lucky. Oh, he's lucky.
There we go.
They have.
Keep getting away with it.
Because they want Ollie to be at the wheel.
Actually, yeah, you know what? Long term, this runs. I'm cool.
Yeah,
We-
rescinded it.
long term, this is a good thing.
We win
right?
regardless.
This is a good
Yep.
thing. There's been a goal at Newcastle, first goal for the Eddie Howe era. We're just waiting to see who that come through. Jamal Lascelles, 1-0 up against Brentford.
1-0 up against Brentford.
Of course, Eddie Howe is not there. He is at home with COVID.
It's falling off a bit for Brentford, isn't it?
Well, I think it's that new...
Just coming back down to
Yeah.
earth, really.
Yeah. It's sort of like, you know, I remember at the start of the season, and Ivan Toney made a couple of disparaging comments about Arsenal.
Yeah, well, I
an
think you guys
interview.
took it a bit too hard, though. Like,
No, but you know what? I said at the time, right, because I do like him as a player, right? But I said, bro, chill out, and the season's still early. You don't even know if you'll be in the Premier League at the end of the season, just because you got off to a good start. We've seen it. Remember when Norwich, they got off to a great start,
Yeah.
and they went down. So, and I think now they're getting a bit of a reality check, Brentford. They have been playing some great stuff, but you know what it's like in the Premier League, you know, teams
It's so competitive,
They
and
do.
that's exactly it. But I think with all newly promoted sides, the most important thing is obviously having, you know, winning your home games. You know, the ones not necessarily the big against the big boys, but the games that you can pick up the points in, like Newcastle's, like the Watfords, like, you know, the Burnleys. Those are the games that they have to be winning, and that's why I think for me Norwich have been struggling so much because they haven't been doing that. And Brentford have been on such a good run. However, it's 1-1.
there you
Newcastle
go, man, I
won.
told you.
Brentford
Oh,
won.
gee, that didn't last.
I know.
I told you, man.
Ivan Toney.
I told you.
He used to play for
You're
Newcastle as
speaking
well,
into
didn't he?
existence.
Yeah, he was at Newcastle.
Ivan
He was
Toney.
at Newcastle, yeah.
I told you, Robbie. Stop talking about Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney.
I told
I was
you.
talking to a Liverpool fan the other day, and he said that I think it might have been Alex actually from Cop TV AGC, and he actually said that he would quite like Ivan Toney to be at Liverpool.
No, I like him. I like
Interesting.
him.
Interesting.
By the way, a
did anyone
super
find
chat,
out-
just before I go
Super
to you, is I'm a blue Dabby Dabadai says, Saar and the ref in the mud. DDJ saved 2 penalties.
Ooh,
There you go.
keeping
Wait, so what? It was a penalty retaken and then
DDG.
De Gea saved?
Yeah.
Okay.
right. I see. Well, I guess
I was
that's
going to ask what I got called off for.
That's going to be a VAR special, isn't it, or something like that? There's been a goal. Crew 1, Gillingham 0, Fleetwood 0, Morecambe 1. Ivan Toney. Would you want him at Arsenal?
I'd take him at Arsenal. Yeah, I think he's a very, very good player. I think he's underrated. And I don't think he'll be at Brentford next season. I think they'll cash in on him because there'll be a lot of teams after him. He's a good player.
It's a good
I
player.
heard he's been talking about how much he wants to join Liverpool.
Yeah.
Replacement for Divock Origi, or would you see him in? How'd you get in that Liverpool starting
Could
11?
potentially start. Like Firmino's been in great form this season. There might be
I
more
don't know
of
if
a
he suit,
long-term
you think he suit
investment.
Liverpool. He's
No,
more of
because
a-
they play over the top, Brentford, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't think it would suit their style. But he does press, though, a lot, though. He's a
No,
well
he's a good
the thing,
player.
it's
and
just
he-
an adjustment
He's got
for me.
leadership qualities in him as well. I like him.
Yeah.
Stephen Borman with a super chat. He says, big up you lot. Come on, Liverpool later. But from Swindon, so come on, Swindon, you Red Robins. Listen, what are you on about? Come on, Liverpool later. No. We need that. We need that. We need that win, Arsenal.
That's going to be a massive,
I'll tell you what, this is
massive
the
game.
best opportunity, though, to win at Anfield in a long time. You know? Very, very much so.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so, because Liverpool are not in the greatest of form. I know, they've had a blip against West Ham, but it's now or never for Arsenal. They've not won there since when? 2012, Podolski.
Yeah, no, we haven't won there for
Maybe
ages. Man.
maybe that
the last 5 times we've been to Liverpool,
Yeah.
we've lost all of those by more than 3 goals.
Wow.
Oh my
They put 3 passes in all of those games.
Wow.
I think the advantage at the moment is that Liverpool aren't very sturdy at the back. They're leaking goals.
Yeah, they're good going forward.
Yeah,
that's
but
the
they're
thing.
great going forward. So it could be a high-scoring game,
Right,
that
it
one.
could be.
It's definitely sets up nicely for an interesting one. League One, Accrington 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. I still want to see what's happened at Watford. I really do want to find out
Still
what
going on, yeah.
exactly happened in that. But yeah, let's talk about Steven Gerrard. Moving on from Liverpool to one ex-Liverpool. That big move from Rangers to Villa.
Massive move.
Villa is a massive club, huge club. I know Rangers are a massive club as well, but Premier League club. It's a good step because obviously there's all that talk that maybe one day he'll be back at Liverpool, maybe post-Klopp. Do you think it was a good move him to come back and Villa is the right fit?
I think it was because you're never going to get this. A lot of Rangers fans were being a bit salty. I seen their Twitter account and every single thing was like Rangers do this, Gerrard do this and that. But I think when this opportunity comes around, you cannot, kind of like say no to it because it's a big club. Villa are a big club, They always used to fight top 5, top 6. They've got investment now, billionaire owners, You're not going to get that opportunity. Steven Gerrard will be the first step. Apparently he's got a contract till 2024. And when does Jurgen Klopp's contract end? 2024.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to kind of make your name, show you're about, and then you're destined for that Liverpool job when Jurgen Klopp decides to kind of call it a day, really.
Call it a day,
So
yeah.
I think it's a good move for him, but the pressure, though, is immense now. It can't just be a case of, Steven Gerrard, let's feel sorry for him. He has to come there and get results, and if he doesn't, he's out the door.
Yeah, 100%. Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0. It's a tough game, actually, because since winning their first Premier League game against Brighton in 2019, Aston Villa are winless in 3 against the Seagulls. They've drawn 2 and lost 1. But obviously, being at the home advantage, that new manager bounce, I think they might have some people come back from injury. They had quite a few out before.
Don't discount Brighton, though.
No,
Good side.
absolutely.
That's the thing.
Last game they could have beaten Liverpool away.
Absolutely.
2 very solid teams.
Yeah.
What do you make of Graham Potter?
Great manager, doing well with the limited funds and players that he has around him. I think he's just starting to get a tune out of Brighton this season as well. And they've had a very good season by their standards too. Obviously the Christmas period is what's really going to test everybody.
What about him at United, though?
Graham Potter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you lot couldn't do much worse than Graham Potter.
So
you can't even try and say nothing
I'm
about
interested-
that.
What are you laughing about?
I'm
What are you
interested to
laughing
see
about?
this-
Manager.
This
Good
head
manager.
shake. The head shake is, so
Listen,
you're rolling
you're
out
gonna
Brendan
call him Ollie
Rodgers,
with a
but-
beard this
Are we a
time.
charity now? What's going on here? You just
Wow.
giving us charity
The
stuff here,
disrespect.
Listen, Potter's a good manager again, but I think it's a big step for him to come to United. And for me, I don't think he can manage it. He's a good manager, but he'll have his ups and downs. It's whether he can, when them lows come to the low, can he manage it? And I don't think he can. So,
Saeed, do you just want Ollie to stay in disguise?
no, I don't want him staying.
That
But
sounded
if
like
it means
it.
him staying to the end of the season, we get Zidane, or we sack him now and then we get Rodgers. I'd rather wait to the end of the season and get Zidane.
What if it was Potter?
At the end of the season? Nah,
I think
not
that's.
really.
I think that might be a step too far.
But-
Couple
yeah, of
other
course.
couple of other comments there. Dieter says, Robbie, I don't know why fans and pundits as well react so heavily on 1 or 2 results impulsively. First they did it on Arteta, now on Rodgers. He had a bad game. Earlier United fans would have had him.
I will say Rodgers had a bad season.
Yeah.
Not a bad game.
Yeah.
Leicester
And he
have
had a
been
bad
poor
end to
this
the
season.
in the league. I think he had a bad end to the season in the league.
R.Y. Rilo says Potter is good for Brighton, untested on the wider circuit.
There you go.
But then sometimes,
You need that.
Why can't be managers just stay where they are and let them
You
grow
guys
where
got
they
some
are?
Stockholm
So why can't we
syndrome
let
or
Ollie
something?
stay where he is
No,
and
but
grow as he
Ollie's
is?
not good enough. Brighton, what's his name? Potter is good enough
Bro,
at
you
Brighton.
guys have been screaming, get Ollie out and get a
Yeah.
manager in. Now you're seeing managers coming up. It's like, I don't want him. I
I don't want him, and I don't
him.
want that
I don't
because
want
that,
him.
in the interest of my club.
Like, the number one aim for you guys should just be get Ollie out the door.
Well, it would be, but then for me, you go and get Brendan Rodgers, and then you're in a year, you're in the same position as he was.
No, but not even Brendan Rodgers. Like, we're talking Potter, for example. Potter would be great for Manchester United.
No, that's for me.
is Potter better than Ollie?
Yeah, he is. But I don't want someone that's just better than Ollie. I want someone that can catch Guardiola, Pep, Tuchel.
And you think Zidane is the person?
And Zidane will be the perfect fit because he's available.
When Zidane came in at Real Madrid, what had he done before that?
What do you mean?
What had he done? Like, I'm not
No,
about.
but I understand
I'm not
that,
about
but-
as a player, as
Yeah,
a
but
manager. What had he done?
No, but then he proved it though. But can Ollie?
Yeah, I
prove
know,
it?
but you've got to give somebody a chance.
Yeah, but we
sometimes.
have given Ollie a chance.
No, I'm not on about Ollie. I'm on
Rodgers.
about Potter and Rodgers.
No, because
you're saying they're
Zidane was untried.
Oh, by the way, Burnley have just equalised against
Ben Mee.
Crystal Palace.
Ben Mee. There's also been a goal. Hull City 1, Birmingham 0.
Yeah.
I think there's another one that we actually missed as well, but we'll see that one pop up
Yeah.
shortly.
You know,
but for me though, Zidane came in but without a history. Rodgers has come in, the history of him failing at Liverpool, history of him at Leicester, not well in the Premier League. Okay, he got the FA Cup, but Arteta's got the FA Cup, and what is he showing for it now? Nothing.
Potter.
Okay, now.
I think
Potter he plays pretty football. I understand that.
but Graham Potter, before he came to Brighton, he was
He beat Hughes lot.
He still won one.
He still won one.
Yeah, he beat Hughes lot, didn't he? Östersunds.
Östersunds, he took
Yeah.
them from the bottom division in Sweden
Yeah.
to the top
Yeah.
and got them into the Europa League.
Yeah.
So he's got a
Well
track
done.
record of doing stuff.
Yeah.
What do you mean, well done?
Well,
What's Ollie done?
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You
Yeah,
want
I
a
mean-
manager that
listen.
plays expansive football, that creates a lot of chances and be able to put chances on the plate
Yes.
for Ronaldo. That's
absolutely.
Graham Potter.
But at United, we demand a certain level, and for me, we demand an elite
And-
manager. And I want Zidane, elite manager, to catch Guardiola, Klopp, and Tuchel.
But what if
is
it
the
was
point
just a
messing around?
But what if it's just a manager that gives you elite football?
No, because we want to win. I want to win trophies.
But that elite football will take you to trophies of the squad.
No,
that
no,
you
no,
have.
no,
You
not for
already
me,
have the
not for me,
squad,
because
you just don't have the manager.
No, I'm not buying into this. For me, I understand, yeah, we play pretty football, but then we play pretty football, we don't get anywhere with the manager. Because you look at Brendan Rodgers, every time...
But this squad's only had Ollie, and you don't play pretty football.
Yeah, but we play. It's consistent. It's inconsistent football. But what I'm on about, every time Brendan Rodgers has come in the league, for me, the league is the barometer that sets you as a manager. FA Cup, I understand that you can win it. You get a good cup run. You get a few, lucky, certain situations. But in the league, every time when it's got to that stage, he's bottled it. And let's not, let's
Dalvin
not,
says beggars can't be choosers.
No, beggars can be choosers. Beggars also can.
That is
The narrative fits when it fits.
Beggars can't be
No,
choosers.
beggars
he
can
says.
be choosers as well. Beggars can, if you offered him a stay somewhere and you said this or this one and this one didn't suit you, then you go on that one. So end of the day, beggars can be choosers.
Sean Newland says Zidane benefited from the Real Madrid team. I think it could be the same thing with the Graham Potter. That Graham Potter, imagine
Zidane could eat.
Look what he's doing with Brighton players. Mopé and
Is there any egos in there?
Trossard
Is there any
and these
egos
guys,
in there?
right? And then imagine if he has got Ronaldo,
No.
Bruno Fernandes.
The other side of that though is you got Ronaldo and there's certain things going in the dressing room. There's this dressing room discontent. What happens then? Can he manage your egos? Can Brendan Rodgers
Give him
manage
a
your
chance and
Give him a
see.
chance and
No,
find
but
out.
I don't- I'm
Look,
not here for
I have to
chance
say,
anymore.
But
Ollie
isn't there
isn't doing
discontent
Ollie
now
isn't
because
doing
of
a great
Ollie?
job at the moment anyway, so it can't be much worse. Right, Leighton Orient 0, Sutton United 1, Accrington 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Yes. Anyway,
By the way, this one here from Temideo, and he says, this is for you, Saeed, again. He says, LVG and Mourinho were elite, weren't they?
Yeah, but they still won something.
No,
Still
but
won
they were
something.
elite. But
but
Yeah.
you weren't happy with them
did they
either.
do-
For me, I didn't want to sack LVG, by the way. After the FA Cup, for me, I wasn't looking really to sack him. Under Mourinho, for me, he got himself sacked because he spat his dummy out. He didn't get the signings he wanted, and he got himself sacked. Similar way he did at Tottenham. He spat the dummy out.
But basically, what the guy's saying, you've tried everything. You've tried elite.
But you
you've
try
tried
again.
this,
Why
you-
can't you try again?
But you will try
Life's
again.
all about trying, Life
Yeah.
is all about
Yeah, but
trying.
that's what I'm saying.
Give
So why not
someone a
did they give him a
chance.
try?
Yeah.
No, but life's all about trying to the point where, though, when you have to assess things and you understand the quality we've got in the squad right now, Zidane walks in, and for me, listen, he could win the league next year with that squad. He could win the league next year with that squad. If he was given now, in the summer, dressing room or whatnot, Tuchel's winning the league and the Champions League with this squad. So why can't he win it with this one?
Mentality.
Mentality, and
That's
it's
the
all about
squad anyway,
managing the
it's just
players.
about the good manager.
Tuchel
What
managed
was
the
a good
players.
manager?
Hold on a minute. Tuchel managed the players. He managed the egos. He put his style and his imprint. Rodgers would be like, I could see Rodgers already. He'd be like, shall I try this player 1 week? Shall I try this player 1 week? And it'd just be like kind of like pedantic. It's true,
Rodgers,
isn't
I
it?
get you though, but Potter.
Potter as well. I think it would be the same. I think it would get to a point where there'd be a kind of ceiling, and I think he wouldn't do well.
Okay, right. Anyway, back to Brighton. They're actually winless in 6 Premier League games, though 5 of these have ended level ended level. Away from home, though, the Seagulls are one of the only teams that are still unbeaten in the Premier League, alongside Chelsea and West Ham. So that's telling you something, because actually United did have a good away form. Not anymore, but they did. So there we go.
Yeah,
That's
they did.
one.
We did until the Leicester game. But
That's
to be
one
fair, though,
positive.
that league result was a bit overhyped, to be honest with you. We came back from games a lot. We weren't playing pretty football. And I think the lockdown really helped Ollie, to be fair. But anyway, each to their own anyway. Each to their own.
Oh
You
my
don't like
God.
Ollie, do you?
No, because it wasn't a great away from. A lot of people in the chat will agree with me. We got away from a certain result, like 2-0 against Southampton. We came back 3-2. There were certain games where we didn't deserve it and we got the result. But I think that was due more to lockdown than anything. The lack of fans, the
The
kind
lack
of
of fans and everything.
heads dropped.
Okay, there's actually been a red card at Shrewsbury. Don't panic, guys. It was
I
not
was
to do with you
gonna
guys. In League One, Elliot Bennett has been sent off. Accrington 0, Sheffield Wednesday 3. That's an interesting game, isn't it? Cheltenham Town 1, Shrewsbury 1. Cheltenham have now levelled. Right, let's talk about Burnley, because I get quite a lot of hate for being anti-Burnley. And I'm not anti-Burnley. I just think that they play a specific way of football to make sure that they stay in the league. It's just not expansive. It's not the nicest thing to watch. And they're very, very physical. And you guys played them a few weeks ago. And your fans were coming out and saying, God, they're so physical. They're brutal to play against. Do you enjoy the Burnley style of play?
It's just hella frustrating. Like, we just came off the 1-1 draw against them before the international break. But you can't really blame Burnley on our account because we just had horrendous finishing.
It was a good result for Burnley.
Yeah, it's an amazing result for them, but we just gave it to them on a silver plate. Fell asleep for 1 second, they equalised. We had 20 shots and about 4 on target. Ross Barkley had some love affair of hitting the Chelsea fans in the stand behind the goal, but it is what it is. Sometimes you have games like this. Chelsea's always like that, and Burnley's always the sort of team that will frustrate the hell out of you. And that's the reason why they stay in the Premier League, because they can sneak these sorts of results against teams that try to play expansive.
What's your thought?
What about him at Man United?
You knew you were going to say Dyche. I knew you were going to say Dyche.
You're trying to get a nibble out of Saeed,
Yeah.
and it is simply
honestly.
unfair.
At least there'd be a system with Sean Dyche.
You know, this is like when I was doing to Toby in the Euros. I was
No,
like,
but to be fair to Dyche, man, he's done an unbelievable job.
yeah,
man.
I think it's underrated.
Year in, year out.
With the budget and
With
the
the budget that
constraints.
he's got, which is basically that Cornet they bought the other day. That's probably like the first big signing they've made.
A good
since he's been
signing,
there.
a really good
and
signing.
And it's been a good signing,
A really
yeah.
good signing. However, Burnley are 18th. They are in that relegation zone. I did actually put them, I think, at the beginning of the season as someone that I was concerned that they might go down.
Hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm just saying sometimes, you know, you can only play a certain style of football
Tough
for
place
so
to go
long
to,
before
man.
things catch up with you. Right, but Burnley, none of the top flight meetings between Crystal Palace and Burnley at Turf Moor has ended as a draw. They are currently as a draw. Whether or not it stays that way is something totally different. But their win against Brentford in their last home league match ended the Clarets' 14-game winless run at Turf Moor in the Premier League. That's a long winless run to have at home.
Still no goals, man. What's going on, United? It's terrible, man.
He just ignored everything you said.
Everything
He's
you said.
right,
Did anyone listen to what I just said? 14 games at home without a win for Burnley
sorry,
prior
I'm
to their
sorry.
last game against Brentford.
That's
Is that
ridiculous.
acceptable?
Yeah,
that
that's
is
ridiculous.
That's
Right.
ridiculous.
14 games, you know. That's like what? That's probably most of 2021, isn't it?
14 games, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Bristol Rovers 2, Tranmere 1, Portsmouth 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. What's the chat saying?
Todd Miller with a super chat says Roses are red, London is blue, Chelsea is the top of the table, European champions 2 up.
That is a
Chelsea.
beautiful super
good stuff,
chat.
that.
Big up yourself.
And you just made that on the spot there. do you reckon?
Very original. Timmy Deo says, please keep Ollie. I'm quite certain he will come good.
Yeah.
When?
Stop messing around.
When
That's
was
what
it?
Tommy Deo.
So he's just
Dale,
tired of it. He's just tired of
Tommy
it.
Dale, sure.
Shush. Right, back to Crystal Palace quickly. Conor Gallagher, what has been a revelation this season.
Can't believe Chelsea let him out, man.
One of Chelsea's got all these good, talented players that you
true.
give to everyone. Look,
Oh,
look
Fulham
at
scored.
Livramento.
Mitrovic again.
Yeah,
Mitrovic.
Fulham 1-0 against Barnsley. Mitrovic securing that qualification. didn't he?
Mitrovic, he's been on fire, hasn't he?
Yep.
Heard that song? You see him singing the song, Mitrovic's on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
First is terrified. Thought it was class, that.
Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher's been excellent this season. He's brought the form that he had from last season in the Championship, and he's just treated the Premier League like it's exactly
Burnley
the
Hold
Hold
same.
on,
one.
there's been a goal. Yeah, Chris Wood,
Burnley.
2-1. Crystal, 2-1 Burnley.
Chris
at home.
Wood.
Oh, and there's a goal, and it's
Watford has
Watford
Josh
won.
King!
Watford.
Watford!
Watford won Manchester
Hey,
United
Saeed,
0.
second time round. You sure you don't want this?
Meanwhile, this could very well go to
You
VAR.
know, it's a form of play, you know.
This will make the stream like levels better for you.
I'm alright,
Might
man.
as well.
Jeez.
I'm gutted because this just means it's
They'll
one step
disallow
closer.
this one as well.
They probably will. They want to keep him there as
What
long
is
as
going on
possible.
with Man
defence
United?
all over the place, man. Our defence is terrible, though. You got to understand. Maguire's off form, but apparently Ollie's saying that he's a good captain. You know, Lindesoft, I call him. You know what I mean? For me, it's terrible. We are terrible.
Is it a big problem? The fact I know that Varane is unfortunately out.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go off of the Spurs game. I really
Yeah.
don't. Also, Middlesbrough won, Millwall won. Yeah, and there we go. That
The amount of people in
that
the chat.
Watford one's just come
The amount
up.
of people in the chat have just put Sue. It's just like Pierce Sue. It's still early in the game.
Still early, but we've not been playing well. You know what I mean?
Jeez, what's going on with
Yeah,
United, man?
Good assist from Dennis. Very good assist. He's good. He's a
Emmanuel
good player.
Dennis.
Come from
He's a good
Bruges. I watched him. I went away to Bruges, and this player was rapid. I was like, "Who is this player?" And it was
Yeah,
that
he
Dennis.
is. He's quick.
He's
You know
quick.
what? When we played them the other day, Watford, on the counter attack,
Yeah.
they're
Quick.
dangerous, man. They've got,
Dangerous.
like you said, Emmanuel Dennis.
Sarr.
They got Saar.
Yeah.
You know,
Josh King.
Can I just say
Josh
something?
King.
Yeah. This result was always happening for me because if you look at Watford's fixtures, they've got, I think, Man City. They had obviously you guys last week. They've got a tough run of fixtures. There's always that one game they win in it, and lo and behold, United have just said, "Yeah." You know what I mean? So far, 30 minutes in.
Mohammed Mahmoud says Man United will come back and win. Football
Yeah.
Crew Show says United are rubbish. Crispy says Fernandez incoming. Ollie at the wheel says Big Steve. Big Steve is in the chat. He says Ollie is at the wheel. Tell me, how does it feel?
And it
Big
feels
Steve in
rubbish.
the chat. Big up, Big Steve.
Big up,
It's rubbish.
Yeah, Steve. Mansfield
wanna
won,
get off it.
Scunthorpe won. That's an interesting question I had for you. What were you talking about before we did that super chat?
I can't remember.
You
but
mentioned
this one made
something
me
which
laugh.
actually made me
Michael
think
says-
of something.
Michael says Wenger to United.
You know what? I wouldn't mind him. I'll be honest with you.
You take Wenger
Yeah, I
at
take
United.
Wenger. Honestly, I'll take him an interim to the end of the season. I said it. You know what? Yeah,
Give it
there's
to
a
Wenger
podcast.
till the end of the season,
There's
I
a
heard.
podcast that says
Insane.
it.
Take Arsene Wenger.
I think Arsene Wenger to the end of the season.
This is something
I
insane.
honestly,
chat.
no.
United fan.
I revealed this. By the way, there's records out there. I revealed this 2 years ago, 2019. I said I'd take Arsene Wenger to the end of the season, and I've still
Someone
said
find
no.
that clip, please.
I would honestly. There's a clip out there. Me and my
Lee
mate. my
J
mate-
says Big Sam to Man United.
No. I take Wenger because you know why? He'll steady the ship, and he'll come
So
in.
with Big Sam.
No, not Big Sam. No.
We'll save you from
Best
relegation.
in the world 13 times says Wenger ain't a snake. And I agree with that.
Well, you know what I mean. You guys hounded him out.
And
That's
PJ
another
Roberts
question.
says 30 minutes in and Man United look clueless
Yeah,
as hell.
clueless.
Gus Hiddink to United says Eden Smart.
Oh, come on, let's put some respect on Hidding's name. Not dragging him out of retirement
Yeah,
for
but
this
he's a bit old
mess.
now,
It's
innit?
not.
He's getting on now.
Right, Wolves 0, West Ham 0 still, Aston Villa 0, Brighton 0 as well. The other scores I'll run you through then.
Just can't get foot in the
Burnley
game.
2-1 Crystal Palace, Norwich 1 Southampton 1, Watford 1 Manchester United 0, and Newcastle 1 Brentford. And there's been a goal, and it's
Yeah.
2-1. Rico Henry for Brentford.
Wow.
Newcastle are now losing.
They could be in the championship with the Billions.
Really
They
could.
really
You know,
can.
City have got a song, going down with $1 billion in the bank. That'll be Newcastle.
That'll be them.
Going down with $1 billion in the bank.
Jeez,
Maybe
what's
trillion in the
going
bank.
on?
Well, Newcastle, the only side without a win still in the Premier League
What?
season.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's 11 games, their longest run without victory to the start of any league campaign.
Do you know if they played United yet?
No, they
Yeah,
did.
when
we
you-
did.
you-
Yeah,
they've-
they were
Okay,
close
fair
to beating us,
enough.
even though it was a 4-1 game.
Oh
They should have
yeah,
got
that
something.
was it.
Big
Ronaldo's
Steve
debut.
says Neil Warnock to Man United.
He's out of the job, by the way.
I'd love to see
You know,
that.
Cardiff, I think, is it Middlesbrough that sacked him?
I would absolutely love to see that.
Rooney at United says I'm not.
Give it to Neville.
Leighton Orient 1,
And no
Sutton 1.
legends. I've had enough of legends.
think
I
that is-
hate my legends now. That's how bad it is. Honestly,
Don't worry,
at
I
the
hate
minute,
them
I'm just
too.
like, kind
It's
of like,
You could have been worse. You could have actually got Gary Neville. And he could have done
you know,
it.
he failed that. Right?
Exactly. We
Need
saw
I
how
say
he did
more?
that. Hartlepool 0, Forest Green 2. Who else we got here? We're all up to date. Yes. So Eddie Howe's first game in charge. Look, there was.
No,
all
he's
the-
not there. Though.
Oh no, he's not there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was obviously he
He
has
would've-
been
he would've
working.
picked the
He's
team
been
and all that,
working with
hasn't
the
he?
squad,
Yeah.
hasn't he, since he came in? It's quite interesting to me because there was so much talk about who they were gonna basically appoint. You know, all the links with Unai Emery and various other managers, and then you have to take a look at it and think, well, why would you get a top 10 manager to keep you up? You know, in a relegation battle, Unai Emery's not going to be able to do that. He's not the man for that. You know, Lucien Favre, these are top tier managers, top 10 of the table. So for me, Eddie Howe was probably a good fit. We've seen what he's done with Bournemouth. You know, when they were in League
The only
Two,
thing-
they nearly
yeah.
went out of the Football League altogether, and what
I
he's
also
done with
saw
them.
that he brought them down as well.
Apart
Is he
from
the
that.
guy? Is he a guy for a fight, Abby? That's the thing.
Well, he kept Bournemouth in the Premier League for what was it, 4 years?
Yeah, but I'm on about like when you're mixed up in it and you've got that fight on your hands. Is he the guy?
Who would you have appointed for this job?
What for
For Newcastle, because you couldn't just go and get a
I
manager.
think you know what? To be fair,
money.
Unai Emery, I think, because Unai Emery, when he was at Arsenal, what he did straight away, he just made us hard to be beaten. And I think at the moment, Newcastle, they've got some good players, good attacking players, but they're so easy to beat.
Yeah.
So maybe you just need someone who goes in there. That's the first thing Moyes did at West Ham.
Hard to beat.
Just made them hard to be beat. That's the first thing he did first. Then afterwards, then you can say to your Ben Ramas and Antonios and that going. But first of all, you've got to stop the rot.
Yeah,
Like
true.
you said, they ain't won a game.
Yeah.
I think
You
as
know?
well, this January window is going to be very important for Newcastle because they do have the funds to get anybody, regardless of how hard it is in January.
Yeah.
Will it
So
though?
the right
Well,
bids could be the difference in
but
relegation or
that's
not.
exactly the point. Sorry, 1 second. Oldham 1, Port Vale 1, Accrington 1, Sheffield Wednesday 3. You are exactly right. But if let's say that they still haven't won a game by
Exactly.
January,
Would you want to come?
Is an Eden Hazard who they've been linked with mentally? Is he going to want to come?
No.
You know, let's
Depends
say
on the money.
is a Dele Alli going to want to go and do that? Because I know he's not going to go and put in a shift in a relegation fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true. You need to.
So
yeah.
what can they do? They only brought in Joe Willock in the summer. You know, they didn't strengthen. They do have some good players. St Maximum, great player. Callum Wilson when fit. Who I'm trying to think who else they've got. They have got
All
talent.
you're naming attacking players, but you need some people
You know,
in there.
I don't
for
believe
the
that.
fight,
I don't believe
the
Jamal
war.
Lascelles is as bad as they are. I don't. I think that it's also as a collective as
Yeah,
a
of
squad.
course, yeah.
You know, and it's who you play with and getting the
Midfield,
balance
I think
right.
they're weak as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelby is,
It's just everywhere except the attack, really.
Yeah.
By the way, Rishikesh with a super chat said, would you take Roberto Martinez or Mancini at Man United? Do you take Mancini? And Amri says, am I watching Football Focus but with better pundits? Loving the production value. Thank you very much.
Great. Love that.
And Raymond says, Man United and New Arsenal. Kermo 94 says, Gareth Southgate to Man United.
Oh, he's not
Listen,
going to like
laughing?
that. He's not going to like that.
You know what I call
He's
them?
not going to like that.
He's got to the semi-finals of the World Cup. He got to the
Finals
finals
of
of
the
the
No,
Euros.
I hear that, but in spite
He's obviously
of
a
that,
good manager, isn't
but
he?
in spite of that, people still don't rate him.
Why? I don't know why.
I think it's unfair.
I think it's
You
the
know,
game management. With him.
obviously at club level he did flop, but at international level he's
If you
been
had
great.
a kind of a mould of Ollie, you would get Southgate.
Palace.
Right, there's been
Or
a
Palace.
goal. Crystal Palace,
Benteke.
Christian Benteke
On
on
form.
the score
Again.
sheet. What a game this is. Burnley
Yeah.
2,
On a
Crystal
hat-trick now,
Palace 2.
Yeah, he's on a hat trick.
Wow.
Good game that.
I call him Ole Gunnar Southgate. That's what I call him. You heard that before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Ole Gunnar Southgate. He plays back five. He plays, he has his favourites. You know what I mean? And it's the same old football. And then he gets to the bottom and he bottles it. So for me, sorry, mate.
All right, Rotherham 1, Cambridge United 0. Championship, Bristol City 1, Blackburn 0. Swansea 1, Blackpool 0. I think that is very unfair, Saeed.
What, Ole Gunnar Southgate?
Yeah, I do. I think Fulham 2,
On Southgate.
Fulham 2, Barnsley 0. I think it's harsh on Southgate. You know, think about all the managers we've had at England, right?
Yeah.
Over the course of my lifetime, your lifetime, etc.
Yeah.
You know, he's arguably done the most.
Not
you know.
arguably, he has done the most.
He's
Yeah, he
done the
has.
most. And yes, we have a very good squad. We've got a whole host of amazing new youth coming in all different positions. But at the same time, you know, I get it. He's got to certain points and hasn't got it over the line. That first half against Italy, we dominated. And obviously we didn't make the right substitutions in the right moments, which is correct. And obviously the penalties are a whole different ballgame in itself. You know, we all know those particular players should probably have been taken, and there should have been more senior members of the squad that did take them.
Absolutely.
But he's entrusted youth. He's done what, you know, a lot of people and fans want their clubs to do and their managers to do. So why so anti-Southgate?
Sounds like a technical director job for me. I think he's doing things, cultural reset. People talk about all this stuff, but as a fan, I don't want to hear that, to be honest with you. I just want to see good football, win trophies. And for me, don't get me wrong, Gareth Southgate has done a lot, you know. I look at the way he's kind of like put everyone together. I for one now, when I look at England now, it's more stronger.
It's a team.
Yeah, it's a team, yeah. But the thing is, though, in elite sport, you know, good guys don't win. In elite sport, good guys don't win.
Aww.
And for me, Southgate's
I don't know what you want, man.
No, seriously, I want a
Zidane.
league manager,
He
Robbie.
just wants Zidane.
Not Robbie,
That's
Robbie.
it. He
This is
wants
the levels
Zidane.
we're at. Maybe Arsenal, you can have Arteta, yeah. But for me, when you're with the big dogs, yeah, you want the big guys. And for me, Zidane, we want to be like looking down on you guys and saying, you a lot of down here, we're up here.
Yeah, but
We're
baby
chasing the big
steps,
boys.
bro.
Yeah, baby steps. You're in a big transition.
We've got a squad though,
Still.
guys. You got to understand, we've got a squad. We've got Ronaldo, Bruno, Pogba, Van der Beek, Sancho, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Diallo. I could go on and on.
But do you think there should be more look at actually those players as well?
Yeah, no, listen to me. I think for me, the players have down tools. You know what I mean? You should never down tools for a manager, but when you've got a manager who's clueless and is having favourites, for me, the biggest thing what you got to realise at United is he's got out and out favourites that no matter what they do, Maguire off form, whoever's off form, they will not be benched. And I can't have that as a manager. I want a manager like comes in like Tuchel says, you know what? This is my squad. This is my identity. You come with me or you don't. And if you don't, then here's a door. But if you do, then I'll look after you and I will say to you, you know what, you're part of my setup. But for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in and said, you know what? I just want heart and passion and that's that. But football, it's not just heart and passion. It's about winning and winning the right way and having a style of football that is, you know, kind of like, you know, replicates Man United. He's meant to be the guy that's meant to be replicate Alex Ferguson, then the DNA,
That's exactly the thing. If you keep looking for someone that is going to replicate Sir Alex, which is
But we don't want that, though.
but that's the
I think he's becoming a problem, to be honest with you.
but that's the expectation that you guys have set, that everyone
Yeah.
is now going to be compared with the success of Sir Alex Ferguson. It's not going to be like that. But you have to
Yeah.
also look at Sir Alex when he came in originally
Oh, no,
to
no,
Manchester United.
But
That's
Things
a good
ta-
shout.
things
I hear
take
this
time.
argument a lot, Abby, because
Things take
for me,
time.
what he did at Aberdeen was unremarkable. He's the only manager since Rangers and Celtic have been going, the only manager to break that mould of Rangers Celtic, the only manager, a European winner. A lot of people compare it. I think that's disrespectful. to
Just
Alex
pause for
Ferguson.
1 second because there's been a goal at Newcastle. Joe Linton.
Oh, Joe Linton, wow.
Wow.
Mad.
That is crazy.
That is insane. Right, Newcastle 2, Brentford 2, Harrogate Town 0, Salford City 1. Sorry, you may proceed.
No, I think for me, I look at United and we're stuck in the past, and I'm trying to get out of that. For me, for me, I enjoyed Alex Ferguson's legacy, but it's like, you know, you can never look at the past. They always say look at the future, and for me, United need to get rid of this DNA, this kind of, you know, glory days. We need to be winning now, and I tell you what, Liverpool went 30 years without winning the Premier League. We're on the periphery. We're 8 years now without a Premier League. You know, we're on the periphery of, if we don't change now, then we could go 10 years, then it's 15, and then players won't come to United anymore. And that's the reality, you
They'll
know?
still come to you because you're still the biggest club in the world.
No, but then again, there'll come a stage, though, where it's like, is money really worth it? Like, you're destroying careers here. Sancho, Van der Beek.
Would you
know,
take Sir Alex as interim?
No, for me, he's done his bit. You know, Alex Ferguson's done his bit. You know, let
No,
him
because I've
retire.
seen clubs do it before. Like I saw Bayern bring back Jupp Heynckes for like a year or
Yeah,
two.
but he was younger, though. Jupp
Yeah,
Heynckes was
you've
about
got to think
68,
about-
67 when they brought him in. Alex Ferguson's nearly towards his 80s, I think. So.
Anyway, Armour Blue Dabadee Dabadai says, why is Rashford playing on the right and Sancho on the left?
Yep, there you go.
Saeed speaking facts says X plays.
There we go.
We're the golden boys of United. I think he's talking about West Ham.
I'm looking at their score now, by the way. I need to
I
know
got
if
that late.
West Ham get a goal.
There's still nothing going on at Wolves versus
Moon
West
Deep
Ham.
is saying that Dennis is looking like the real Ronaldo.
Oh.
And Viva La Saeed, there's loads of it.
Oh, Crystal Palace.
There's been another goal,
Gay,
Mark
your guy.
Wade.
Go on,
There
Gay.
we go. Burnley 2, Crystal
What a
Palace
game that
3.
is.
3. Oh, it's incredible.
I'll tell
What
you
a game at Turf
Palace-
Moor.
What did I
Never
put it?
hear that
Palace
sentence
are
before.
playing
What a game
unreal.
at Turf
You
Moor.
know.
Oh, that wasn't in the predictions, thank God.
Right, just quickly on
They're
Eddie
playing
Howe.
some good football, aren't they, Palace?
Quickly on Eddie Howe, because that's an interesting game too at Newcastle. Obviously got them up for it, after going behind. However, this is, of course, his first game in charge. He's not there. But only one of the last 8 managers to take charge of Newcastle have won their first Premier League game. So there's actually not been that much pressure on it if you look at it statistically. Or is it just Newcastle just, bad?
Newcastle, well, they're having a better performance against Brentford than we thought they were going to have. I had them down to lose this game. Brentford, though, like we said earlier, look like they're just coming down to earth. Like, their results haven't been terrible this season. It's been more what you'd expect Brentford to have, because they just had a really good start and they just petered down a little bit. But yeah, like, it seems like a pretty even game. I just want interested to see how the second half shows for them.
And we mentioned before Ivan Toney, who did actually play at Newcastle. He made 2 appearances for Newcastle in 2015-16 season before moving on. Let's go back to Norwich. Still nothing there other than the 1-1. They got back into that game very
Yep.
quickly. Aston Villa, quiet afternoon for Steven Gerrard. so far.
No slip-ups.
Nerves, isn't it? It's nerves, you know what I mean? They have to get, you know... I think it's also not wanting to lose your first game, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of them things where you've got to be careful. Maybe he's playing hard to beat and then maybe get them, you know?
A. Burke is saying... A. Burke. He's saying Saeed is 100% right. Have to have winner's mentality to go for the absolute best. No more rebuilding.
Absolutely.
No more trust the process BS.
Absolutely. No more rebuild for me.
But you tried that. You tried that with Mourinho.
No, but he's put us in a worse state than Mourinho. What's happened here?
What's happened? Is this United?
Waiting to see this
Is
flash
this a
up.
goal at United?
Watford 2, Manchester United.
Oh, and
2-0. 2-0 to Watford.
Ismail Assar on the
Sarr.
score sheet.
Oh my God!
Saeed.
Get this fraud out of my club.
He's not going to make the Chelsea game. There's no way he makes the Chelsea game.
There's no way.
There's no way
Look me in the camera.
this guy makes the Chelsea game.
Please get this manager out. I am done. Ollie, go. Go away, Ollie.
Ollie, stay.
Please
Stay.
go away, man.
Please stay.
I'm depressed, man.
Saeed,
I'm enjoying this.
Week in the Champions League?
We got Villarreal away.
Villarreal away. Do you think
Please,
he'll,
man. I'm just tired.
Ismail Assar.
Do you think he'll be there for Villarreal?
Jeez, on half-time, 44 minutes.
I'm just tired, man.
Fire Ollie now, says
Absolutely crazy.
WWE fan.
Absolutely crazy.
Jeez, Ollie at the wheel says X News XB.
Viva Ronaldo.
I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked.
Are you shocked? Were you shocked?
No, I'm shocked. I thought...
Running down the wing, hear United sing, Viva Ronaldo.
Honestly, I'm shocked.
No, Robbie, what have you been watching?
I said you're getting duppied by Watford.
Robbie, where have you been? Where have you been for the last 2 years? This is literally the accumulation of 2 years of bad.
If Watford get a third, they probably will get a third as well.
Right, okay, anyway, so we're going to take a minute to cool down. Just to run you through the scores quickly before we go to a quick ad. It's Aston Villa 0, Brighton 0, Newcastle 2, Brentford 2, Watford 2, Manchester United 0, Wolves 0, West Ham United 0, Norwich 1, Southampton 1, and Burnley 2, Crystal Palace 3. Be back in 1 minute.
Two teams' latest news. That's quite hard to say. Where I've forgotten the whole thing already.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Hey guys, I'm Abbi and this is the weekend Premier League preview show right here on the Don Robbie channel with myself and of course Flex.
Yeah.
Score predictions.
Yes.
Tell me.
Arsenal are going to do that Arsenal thing where everyone expects them to lose, their own fans expect them to lose. They should lose,
Yep.
but I don't think they will, and I think it's going to be 1-1.
Norwich are going down, surely. They are going down.
You would imagine
at this moment in time.
Sorry, any Norwich fans, you're probably thinking the same thing. Well, we'll be discussing the latest Premier League games coming up for that weekend, your team news, and making our predictions. Make sure you guys tune in, don't miss out. That was perfect.
What are you laughing at?
Smoking on your tears, fam. You know that right there.
Welcome back to the best of enemies.
We have a special show today. It's Don Robbie's birthday! Get busy! What are you telling me, fam? What the fuck? Happy birthday! Oh my God, this is ridiculous!
Listen, this is a very, very serious message. A friend of mine heard he's missing. You know what I'm doing right now?
Smoking on your tears, fam.
We have a world-first live fantasy football game called Top Squad, where you can win prizes and smash your mates in our live fantasy football game, competing with your favourite influencers while watching our streams. Play every Premier League game and more.
Yes! Go on, do so! Go on, do so!
What are you doing here, man?
You get me? What the fuck?
No, he's done.
People that come at us and say F1 is boring, they don't watch it, clearly.
So we're at the best stadium in the whole of the Premier League.
Smoking on your tears, fam. You know that way there.
To the team's latest news. That's quite hard to say. Where we'll be
discussing.
Where I've forgotten the whole thing already.
Just go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Hey guys, I'm Abbi and this is the weekend Premier League preview show right here on the Don Robbie channel with myself and of course Flex.
Yeah.
Score predictions.
Yes.
Tell me.
Arsenal are going to do that Arsenal thing where everyone expects them to lose, their own fans expect them to lose. They should lose,
Yep.
but I don't think they will, and I think it's going to be 1-1.
Norwich are going down, surely. They are going down.
You would imagine
at
so.
this moment in time.
Sorry, any Norwich fans, you're probably thinking the same thing. Well, we'll be discussing the latest Premier League games coming up for that weekend, your team news, and making our predictions. Make sure you guys tune in, don't miss out. That was perfect.
Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Saturday Football Show. Half-time across the Premier League at the moment. So let's get a bit of a reaction, shall we, from what's actually been going on. Let's start actually at Watford versus Manchester United. Also, we've had a swap.
Absolutely perfect.
Who organised this? Who organised this? Where's Robbie? Come back, Robbie. I can't have a Scouser here.
Incoming
This is more
Doyle.
humiliation.
Incoming Doyle, and Robbie has also popped
Get
off.
security here.
Robbie will be doing, of course, the watch along on AFTV from, I believe, 5:30. The watch along, or maybe a little bit earlier than that, for the Liverpool versus Arsenal game. And of course, Doyle is joining us ahead of that as well. Hello, so let's talk about that game. Saeed, do you want to start?
Maybe it's best to get it out first, but I'm just tired of this, Abbi. You know, I'm tired of this process, and I just want it to end. You know what I mean? It's been slow. I've had to witness these lot come over to Old Trafford and beat us 5, Man City and Watford. You know, it is. How bad can it get? How bad can it get? I'm going to be depressed, and I'm normally a cheerful person. I'm normally happy, but football's affecting my mental health. It really is.
I get it. I do
honestly,
get it.
because we're meant to. Honestly, you don't realise it. We were meant to challenge for the league this year. Challenge, not win it. Challenge.
You'd assembled a squad that was
exactly.
good enough.
And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has just made us look like we're nobodies. What are we? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, do the right thing. Have some sort of integrity, Ole, and leave now. Leave while some sort of kind of, legendary status is there. Because for me, when you look at tarnishing reputation, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for me is tarnishing his reputation, because this isn't good enough for Man United Football Club. He is not good enough for Man United Football Club. And why is the powers be, man? They're mocking us. They're really, really mocking us. I've got nothing to say.
Okay. You said quite a bit. Doyle, as a Liverpool fan, you must be absolutely loving this.
I mean, yeah, I can't lie. Poor Saeed sitting next to me. I feel for him, but I don't feel for Man United. I've watched them be the best team forever. I've been through this struggle myself. I know what this pain is like. Believe me, I do. But it's nice to see it on the other side. I can't lie.
I mean, how did it feel, obviously, when you put 5 past them? Do you think that was the start of the major unravelling of Manchester United?
Do you know what? That, like I said it on when we watched it, that was one of the best days of my life. It genuinely was. And it's probably one of the worst days of his life, because you never get to see your team beat your rivals at their home ground 5-0. You get to see that. And your star player scored a hat-trick as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Incredible.
Lewis, anything to add to that? Well, let's talk about Watford. Because we have to give some credit to Watford, as bad as United are. They also didn't score from that penalty, so then they've gone on and they've scored another 2.
Watford, man, I don't even know why I'm surprised Watford are doing this, because you guys' form has just been horrendous. But it couldn't have happened to a better fan base.
You've got to give credit, though, to Watford, because at the end of the day, they made that change early on, as Watford always do. They've got the same Chelsea mentality, get the manager out while the iron's still hot, and brought in Claudio Ranieri. We know what he's been able to do, with the likes of Leicester when they won the league, and I think it was probably quite a good appointment for Watford.
Yeah, right appointment, but I mean, you still kind of have to wait and see on it, because it's got to the point where you can't really judge their progress or give any real props to a result against United, because they've just been that bad this season. Leicester City went and beat them 4-2, and we've seen their form since then. It hasn't really changed. So it's getting to the point now where you get a result against United, it's just
standard.
It is. I've got to a point where I don't really back United against anybody, because you'll see it more than anybody else. There's no patterns of play.
Nothing.
It's individual brilliance FC.
Yeah.
Like, it all depends on how you deal with situations, but there's no guarantees with Manchester United, so you can't back them to be anybody. And it's just happening again. Like, Watford, like, I know they've got a new manager and everything, and there might be a new manager bounce, maybe not. But come on, it's Watford. Like, these are the sort of games that should be straightforward. And you're 2-0 down at half-time. Like, I'm really not trying to stick the finger in the wound and everything, but, like, come on. This is poor. This is so poor.
You are. But
this
anyway.
is expected, though, guys. It's, for me... Like, I'm depressed here, but I'm almost like I knew it was coming. You get me, like, and for me, I just don't know if I can take it anymore. I'm emotionally detached from Man United. Like, I'm genuinely thinking, is it worth me coming to Old Trafford while this guy's in charge? I feel like if anyone wants tickets, you know what I mean, feel free, man. Because no, it's not even funny. I'm being serious. Do I want to come and see Arsenal come down to our ground and beat us? You know what I mean? This is the reality of United now. I'm thinking to myself, what is the point of me coming when the board?
No, I don't, because I don't think that Ollie will be there. I think that Lewis just said that he thinks that Arsenal might pound you in a few weeks, and I said I don't think he'll be there. Whether or not he's there for the Villarreal game, I think
this might be
shocking to me.
This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Maybe Robbie's right. I think if they'll sack him tonight, if they have outs of any kind of reality of where Man United should be, if he loses, even for me, a draw is a bad result.
Yeah.
Because it's a manner, isn't it? It's a manner of...
If City, Chelsea, Liverpool are playing a Watford team, and Man United have got the same stature as these teams, you back them teams every single time.
Absolutely.
And you should be backing Man United against the Watford team as well.
Yeah.
Like, this is unheard of. This
is the thing. You're saying dignity, though. If they've got any sort of dignity, they sack him now. But they do it after you lose 5-0 at home to your rivals, and then 2-0 at home to City like 2 weeks afterwards. If they haven't sacked him now, when are they going to sack him?
When they see
it's not going to be if we beat you guys.
Honestly, I'm having a party.
Arsenal does it?
If he gets sacked, I'm having the biggest party ever.
Everyone else will be gutted. Man United fans will be made up, and everybody else in the league will be sad.
So the Ollie's sacking party. Call it now.
If that happens, I'll dress in all black.
Okay, right, seriously. Guys, quickly, Best of Enemies Extra is coming up right now, so watch this ad.
Have you checked out the brand new show, The Best of Enemies Extra? Extra, read all about it. Hey, I'm going to jump into some...
You can't read, blood, so do you want me to get that?
Can't.
Oh, blood, you're always butchering things up, blood.
On the DR.
One for extra like Wrigley's, fam, blood. The money better go up, fam. The Viagra, blood. What you paying me more than, blood? So cash at me, blood, because we got a video on YouTube, blood. I'll send him the link. You know them way there, blood. Best of Enemies Extra, only on the Don Robbie app. Gang business.
Check it out now.
Okay, and we're back. He left.
I'm
but
back.
He's back very briefly. He's back very briefly. Hi.
You know what? I still can't get over the fact of what I'm seeing here with Manchester United. I can't. Honestly, I'm still in shock. I don't know why, but I'm still in shock.
Still in shock. I think Saeed is reeling. Right, I'm just gonna run through the championship results really quickly, just while you fester a little bit more.
Can I watch the championship?
You carry on. You might be in there.
You might be right there.
You know what I mean? Sure.
Right, Sheffield United 0, Coventry City 0, Bristol City 1, Blackburn Rovers 0, Fulham 2, Barnsley 0, Huddersfield Town 1, West Brom 0, Hull City 1, Birmingham. Oh, where's it all gone? Birmingham City 0, Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 1, Preston North End 1, Cardiff City 0, Reading 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Stoke City 1, and Peterborough United 0, Swansea City 1, Blackpool 0.
Do you want me to do League One?
Yes, please.
League One is Accrington 1, Sheffield Wednesday 3, Charlton 0, Plymouth 0, Cheltenham 1, Shrewsbury 1, Crewe 1, Gillingham 0, Doncaster 0, Lincoln City 0, Fleetwood Town 0, Morecambe 1, MK Dons 0, Burton 0, Portsmouth 0, Wimbledon 1, Rotherham 2, Cambridge 0, Sunderland 0, Ipswich 0, and Wickham 0, Bolton 0.
Okay, and quickly for League 2, Barrow 0, Crawley Town 0, Bradford City 0, Northampton Town 0, Bristol Rovers 2, Tranmere 1, Exeter 0, Carlisle United 0, Harrogate 0, Salford City 1, Hartlepool 0, Forest Green Rovers 3, Leyton Orient 1, Sutton 1, Mansfield Town 2, Scunthorpe 1, Newport County. Why does it keep clicking off on this app? Newport County 0, Swindon 0, Oldham 1, Port Vale 1, Stevenage 1, Colchester 0, and Walsall 0, Rochdale 0. So that is all your half-time scores.
Hold on, there was one result to bring you from the National League. It's Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 0. No, I'm only joking.
So Saeed's about to walk off set any second now.
Oh man, you know what? I shouldn't even banter because we still got our game to come later on against Liverpool.
Game coming up, which
You
we
know,
are
but
gonna
I just can't. Saeed, I can't. Honestly, no, I'm being serious now.
Yeah.
You'll see later on when my score that I wrote down. I can't believe it. I can't believe that Watford are beating Manchester United 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm in shock.
And it should be more. David De Gea saved 2 penalties.
Yep.
They've had a host of chances. Low shot from David De Gea as well. It should be more. But I think they deserve more. And for me, it's got to the point now where Robbie is like, it's like damage limitations now because it could literally damage the season. If West Ham win this game, they're 9 points ahead of us. West Ham United.
Yeah, with your old gaffer as well. So it was.
Oh my God.
The longer this goes on, the reputation of Man United is being ruined by this run, mate. This is.
Oh my
this is,
God.
like what Robbie's saying, this is unheard of. I've never seen Man United this bad. Ever.
No, not
This
even
is
under Moyes.
insane.
Moyes, he was out of his depth and he had an Asian squad. Van Gaal, for me, he should not have been sacked at the FA Cup. Mourinho, as bad as he got, he won trophies and it was in a stable condition. At that time, okay, we were down in the dungeons here, but it's not been the embarrassment of riches that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got, and he's losing to Watford.
Okay.
EM says, with all due respect, you've got a super chat. I don't think anyone cares about the Championship, especially League 1 and 2. He goes, if you do a poll, if you don't believe me, do not disrespect those leagues.
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, some great footballers played down in those leagues. I'll tell you that. And, we get some great players from that league as well.
Yeah.
So, no, we're not disrespecting League 1,
You're
League 2,
disrespecting them.
or the Championship. Jabba ranks 12 says, what reputation? He's saying. Ollie in, says Onkar.
What do you mean
Ferrer
reputation?
says Ollie, it's just Ollie in all the way through this thing.
Basically.
Jeez, I'm telling you, it's peak.
And do you know what's good? Saeed's going to be taking over the iPad when you leave. So he can read it all.
Aziz King says
Everyone's in a timeout.
Manchester United have got Chelsea next week.
Yeah.
And then
Sunday.
isn't it Arsenal the week after that?
Yeah, but he won't be there. He won't even make it till midnight at this point. He won't
Honestly,
even make it till midnight.
Chelsea are going to smash us, mate.
Big up Doyle from the Cop TV says Bailey 19. I'll tell you.
Love that. Right, let's talk about another team.
Let's talk about
Let's go
another team,
away
yeah.
from Manchester United for a minute because I'm sure we're going to be talking about them again for the second half. So Aston Villa, so far, 0-0 with Brighton. Is that a good result so far for Steven Gerrard?
Listen, remember I said Brighton are a very, very good side. We've got to put respect on their name. So obviously all the Villa fans will be hoping that, they'd be winning and stuff, but it's about them stopping the rot as well, isn't it? Because, they've been getting 5 games in a row they've lost and they've been really poor. So, listen, if they get out of there with a 1-0, I don't think a 0-0 would be, their fans will be on.
It steadies the ship and it stops the rot, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think they could do with a win. They need a win, really.
I think a 0-0 for Gerrard on his first game is spot on, considering what Robbie's just said. They've lost the last 5 games.
Yeah.
Come in, steady the ship, and then move on from there.
Move on
I think
to the next
great.
one.
As long as he doesn't lose today, Gerrard, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Do you
with
see
the result.
him? Would you like to see him at Liverpool in the future?
Yeah, in the future, definitely. He's proved himself at Rangers so far, and this is his proper chances. And he's at a big club. He's got loads of history here. It's in the Premier League. This is his chance to show us what he can do as a manager.
Where do you expect him to take Villa? What's realistic?
We want to see him take him to Europe, don't we? He's played in Europe with Rangers. You know we can play in Europe as well. I want to see him do that. I want to see him prove the critics wrong.
So we're looking, top 7?
Top 7, yeah.
Top 7.
I'd like to see him in Europa League and stuff, definitely.
It's
I think he could
interesting.
do it as well. He's a great coach, great leader, knows what he's doing.
Aziz King says Lukaku will haunt United. You're disrespecting him.
Well, listen, he's shopping at JD at the minute, so...
And Uzumaki says, be patient, Man United fans. It's only been 5 years without a trophy.
Who is that?
Is it even 5 years?
How dare you? How dare
Has it
you?
been that long?
Nah, mate, it's
It
been
hasn't.
long.
No
5
way.
years?
Yeah.
2017, right?
Jeez.
27. That's without a trophy. Without a Premier League, it's 2013. I
Well,
was
but you
there.
have won a
I was
trophy.
actually there at that parade.
You
And-
have won a trophy.
No, but for me, honestly, I just want to see us compete. Forget trophies for now. Competing in a title race, that's all I want to see for now. And I've not seen that since January last year. You know what I mean? I was enjoying January, and then it's like it went over. You know what I mean? Like it was. I just want United to compete, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not that guy. He never was. He never will. And for me, we won't get a job anywhere else anyway. I think he'll go back to Mulder doing fishing. That's what I think we'll do.
Grealish says the Glazers are late in sacking Ollie by 4 games at the maximum. United fans calling for the Glazers out after this summer's transfers are just pissed that they ain't winning any trophies. Spoiled fan base. But listen, Man United, I'll stick up for Saeed and Man United here. This is a huge club.
Yeah.
It's the biggest club in the world.
Yeah.
They can't be going to... Listen, it can happen in the Premier League. You can go to Watford and lose. Even Liverpool. In isolation, listen, this is the Premier League.
Yeah.
But I think this game today is a game, considering what's been going on at Man United, considering some of the results recently, he had to win this.
Yeah. But you know what it is?
This is like a game that you look at and you say, a chance to get back. Even I saw his press conference where he said, you're going to see a reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
What a reaction. Right?
Cristiano Ronaldo's going to lose 2-0 to Watford. I mean, we don't know yet, but this is what it's looking like, 2-0.
Or either that or Cristiano Ronaldo is going to dig him out of a hole
what
again.
He said? He made an analogy. He said something about sometimes you hit the bar and it's not your day. And he hit the crossbar. But I was looking at United the last few games. We've not hit the bar, mate.
In a year, mate. You haven't even hit on the target for a year or so.
We had 2 shots opposition box. You know what it is, yeah? Even if for me he wins this game, it's more down to the fact that he's got a lot of people on the bench that can save him.
Yeah.
Like, it's not down to his tactical abilities. Never was. And that's what for me...
Ronaldo started?
Ronaldo Ronaldo has
You know what I mean? Leave our legend alone, man. You know
Sancho
what I mean?
started as well.
But I just can't believe that... Honestly, I'm sure.
What can you do, though, when you've got no service and you've got a manager who's just is inept?
Well, I still think with yours, look, I have to say, your squad alone has a lot of service in it. So I think
but the
that
problem
you
is,
also have, like I said to you earlier, you've got to be looking at your players as well.
Absolutely.
So
No.
De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Matic.
Yep.
That's not a lot of service in that, to be
No,
fair.
but look at the bench. There's
Sancho,
so
who
much
was the
service that can
biggest
be brought
assister.
in.
The biggest assister in Europe over the past couple of seasons.
There is a lot.
Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Cristiano Ronaldo.
There is a lot of service on that bench.
No, but the thing is, I understand where you're coming from. Is that the players have got to
Can't blame Fred today.
Actually, saying
you
that.
can't blame Pogba.
Saying
Pogba,
that.
where's Souness?
All right, okay, Lingard.
Souness, where are you at, mate? You're not playing Pogba, is it?
Let's just talk about Jesse Lingard for a minute, because you held him captive. You didn't want him to go and be free to go to West Ham.
No, not me.
Free Jesse.
Where he's had an incredible...
But that shows he's lost a dressing room, Abbi, though. He's lost a dressing room.
Okay, so what about Jadon Sancho then? What do we do about Jadon Sancho?
Jadon Sancho is, man, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit sticky at the minute. I can't defend him, you know what I mean? It's looking a bit peak, man, but I think for me, I think he's got enough quality to kind of not be a flop.
Paris Saint-Germain just scored
Mbappe.
1-0 up against Nantes.
Yeah, can we have Mbappe?
Mbappe, of course.
But even if you had Mbappe, what would you do with him right now?
To be on the bench. He hasn't got no heart and passion, he doesn't have desire.
Well, Lincoln says, as a Chelsea fan, can you please keep Ollie until next week?
No. We're going to get Zizou, the French, you know what I mean?
You think he'll come?
The saviour. Honestly, if we were serious and we laid it down on a plate for Zidane and we said, right, we sacked Ollie, you're the man. And we go to him and say, you're the man to get this team playing. I think he would. But what he's doing is, he's saying, you can't tell me, we might call you in a few weeks' time, but be ready. You're telling Zidane, be ready. This is a manager's won everything. He's saying, if you want me, sack him and then come to me with a suitable offer. I think that's what's going on right now. When you come with a suitable offer, then they'll come. So,
okay. I'll just have a quick question for you, just on Manchester United, before we move off the topic for a moment. Do you wish you would have lost that game against Spurs?
You know what it is, right? A lot of people ask me this question, but when you've got the powers be that won't sack him regardless, it's like, it's out of my control anyway, because if you look at the game against Liverpool, if that game 5-0, right? If you'd have said, when you watch that game, 5-0 to the arch rivals, should have been sacked after that game. Right? Yeah. You're thinking, he should be sacked, right? But it's like, then you go to Man City thinking, right, he should be sacked after that game. So it's like almost a case of, even if I say now, which I think I'll say it, because I wanted him to lose in that game against Tottenham, because it was the Al Saki goal. Yeah. It was. And Tottenham fans wanted Nuno to lose. And this is what it's become, because it's got to the point now where fans are frustrated because it's out of their hands and it shouldn't be. The players, the manager and the owners, should take this decision out the fans' hands, the emotion out of the fans' hands, and say, what Chelsea do? They say, you know what? Don't worry, this manager's gone now. Frank Lampard, legend. No, he's out the door. And the fighting stops. That's what they should have done with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole, pack your bags, go back to Norway and don't come back. That's what they should have said. But they haven't, and they've toyed around with everyone's emotions. Oh, yeah, he scored a 99. I don't care, mate. He's a manager, and he should be doing well for Man United as a manager. As a player, we respect what he did, fair enough. But as a manager, he's not good enough. But they played around with that sentiment, you know.
Okay, right. That's enough. That's enough. Right, 3-3 at Burnley.
Corner.
3-3. Burnley 3. Crystal Palace 3. We've also got other goals. We've got Leighton Orient 2. Sutton United 1. Middlesbrough 1. Millwall 1. Preston 1. Cardiff City 1. Right, let's now talk about West Ham because we have not spoken about them this afternoon because their game has been 0-0 and a little bit boring. Right, Wolves. So Wolves have picked up the pace a little bit. They started off quite rocky.
2-1. United got one back.
I don't know why I'm celebrating.
United have got one back.
Is it Ronaldo?
Is it Ronaldo? What's the betting that it's a Ronaldo?
No.
Give you a tenner. No!
No one's
Van de Beek.
Imagine Van de Beek's going to save his job.
There we go. Incredible. Incredible scenes off the bench and on the score sheet.
Van de Beek, man.
Off the bench and on the score sheet. Right. Can we please talk about West Ham? Because West Ham obviously came off of that incredible win over Liverpool, 3-2. So far, drawing away to Wolves. Wolves have picked up the pace. Wolves have looked good of late. What do we see for West Ham this year?
I think they're going to finish a lot higher than people think they were going to last season. I think they're going to finish 5th, 6th. The way they're playing this season is incredible. And that's what you can see with the difference in coaching. Moyes knows how to coach them players and get the most out of them. And look what that team's doing now. They battered us. Battered Liverpool the other week when we played there. We didn't know what to do against them because they had a solid game plan. They executed it well and then just performed really well. It was the spot-on team at the moment. They're the team on fire. So I'm a bit like, why are they not winning right now against Wolves, considering they smoked us? What's going on, West Ham? You better win today.
Yeah, but Wolves have won their last 2 home games, as many as they had in their previous 9 at Molineux. However, the Wolves haven't won 3 in a row at home since November 1980.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know if people are bantering me, but they're saying offside.
No.
Offside, VAR.
Wait and see.
VAR.
They're battering.
Wait and
must-
see.
There's been some good games so far, though.
Yeah, there's been some great games. You know, like I think Lewis mentioned it earlier, we never really see an exciting game at Burnley.
3-3, 2-2
and there we
with
go.
Newcastle.
We're seeing some interesting things go on, aren't we, today? It's all kicking off. But anyway, back to West Ham. David Moyes obviously came in, and it's not someone that I think they really wanted. You know, and he's managed to turn it around massively.
I feel it's like what's happening to David Moyes. You know, his reputation got so tarnished, didn't it, when he was with Man United because he didn't perform after one of the best managers that's ever lived.
Yeah.
So it was really harsh on him. Then he went to Valencia, didn't he? And he had a bad spell there. But if you look at him in the Premier League, he's been good. I watched him for Everton for about 10 years, stabilise that team and get them to
Europe,
4th.
yeah?
I couldn't believe when Everton finished 4th. So his reputation needs to be respected more. I think he does well at his teams.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Do you regret how that kind of panned out? Do you think he was the wrong appointment after Sir Alex?
Yeah, I think it was, but I think, you know what I mean, it was always going to be a difficult squad because it was an aging squad as well, and a lot of the players were like, who's this David Moyes coming here, thinking, you know, apparently it was showing them training of like Jagielka and stuff like that at Everton, but so it was never going to work when you do that for me, but again, was it worse than this, you know what I mean, like, when you've got the abundance of talent that we've got, you know, it's for me, it's crazy, and I just think for me, David Moyes is had his like downs, but now he's on the up again, and I think he's back to where he was at Everton, and you know, fair play to him.
Take him.
Not really, no, because we've tried that. You know what I mean? It's an X that you've left behind. You know what I mean?
Would you be happy to see Jesse Lingard back at West Ham?
I
Playing
would, because
football,
I always
football.
want players to kind of like fulfill their potential, and for me, Jesse Lingard's a quality player, and
He
for
is.
a team like West Ham, I think they'll do well with him, and I think that's what they need.
I think you should have let him go.
Well,
too.
now we're
think
going
it
there for
was-
free.
Yeah, now going there for free. And
Free.
quite impressive, actually. So West Ham are unbeaten in 11 away games in all competitions, winning 8 and drawing 3. Their longest ever solely as a top-flight club and longest in general since March 2004. So we know exactly what he is doing.
Oh, there's a VAR review
VAR, yeah.
in that game, Burnley Palace.
Oh,
VAR review, so
Red card or?
taking their time, isn't it? To maybe to rule out that goal from Max Cornet. Right, we are shortly going to have the team sheets through for Arsenal versus Liverpool, which is of course the 5:30 game. You guys can tune in on AFTV if you guys want to watch that one. Can Arsenal beat Liverpool?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
I love Liverpool. Everyone knows me and watching me on these
idea.
things knows how much I love Liverpool, right? But I can also admit our faults. And our faults this season has been managing games. Lewis said it earlier. We have not managed games very well. We scored loads of goals, bags of them, because we've got very good attacking players. But the buzz around Arsenal right now, the feeling that they've got, they could take that momentum to Anfield and change the pattern. They could do it. But it's Anfield still.
Just a quick score update. Rotherham 2, Cambridge United 1. Rob, do you think you can win that game?
I can see us maybe getting a draw there. I still think, you know, if it was at the Emirates, I think we'd have a great chance of beating them. We could be catching them at the right time. I think at Anfield, that's what worries me. It's such a hard place to go to.
Yeah.
Also, have been playing well, but this is a level up now. We're coming to play them. It's a massive test, and I'm going to be interested to see how Arsenal cope with, you know, the attacking threat of Liverpool. But you know, Arsenal been defending a lot better.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be all down to how we defend in this game,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we're not going to out
Play
attack them or outplay them.
Yeah.
It's about, like you said, how we manage the game. Do we defend well?
Would you take 5 at the back?
Huh?
Play 5 at the back.
You know what? I don't really want us to change much up because we've been defending well. So I'm like, I've seen like even some of my guys over on AFTV, they've been suggesting 5 at the back, and I'm like, why change things up if what we've been doing has been working so far? I know the level of opposition that we played hasn't been as good, but
if it ain't break, don't fix it.
Yeah, I'd just go with that and just see, you know, see what happens. But it's going to be, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Thinking about it,
But
you know what I mean? I'm going to be over on AFTV doing a watch along to that.
Yep.
Of course, I was supposed to go to the game, and obviously because we started this today as well, I couldn't get up there. But wow! Oh,
There's
Wolves!
been a goal, and it's Wolves.
What?
We need it.
Wolves beating West Ham 1-0.
Raul Jimenez.
Need
We
that.
love to see a Raul Jimenez goal.
Jimenez is on fire at the moment. He's scoring goals.
Yeah, Wolves 1-0 against West Ham.
Oh, wow.
Are they ahead of us then? I think maybe Wolves are ahead of us if they win.
Yeah, I think you're slowly moving down that table. Oldham 1, Port Vale 2.
Oh,
Steady,
Saeed's
steady.
back.
Listen,
We're not playing today. Just hold off till
Conte,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Oldham 1, Port Vale 2, Barrow 0, Crawley Town 1. Obviously, we just read you out Wolves 1. I believe Accrington has got back into their game against Sheffield. It is 3-2 now, so closing the gap a little bit. Raul Jimenez, what a great player. So happy to see him back after that terrible injury. I always get really happy when I see that he's actually scored, to be fair.
Lovely guy, lovely fella, good footballer. It's always nice to see them come back from a serious injury and then do well.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see for Harvey Elliott when he comes back, to be honest.
When is Harvey Elliott due back?
He's been recovering really well. He's a young lad, isn't he? And you see with these young lads, sometimes when they get these heavy injuries, they can bounce back really quickly. And he seems to be, I think he'll be back in the next few months, to be quite honest with you. He's doing really well. He's in rehab, doing all that stuff.
Snake Eyes with a super chat here says, Abbi, what was he pointing something out?
I thought that Aston Villa would score for a second. And I was about to say, Gerrard!
Still 0-0.
He says, Abbi, you are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you very much.
Saeed, why should Ollie leave and leave money on the table? You lot signed a contract with him. Pay him and send him on his way.
Well, I will pay him. I'll make a GoFundMe. I'll start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would literally start a GoFundMe if it meant that he was leaving.
I'd love to see if someone actually did do that. Like if someone did start a GoFundMe to get their manager sacked and see how much money he's raised. I'd be so interested to see that.
I bet United do come back in this game though.
I think they
Yeah,
will.
they
I
will.
think they
Just
will.
see it.
They
Ronaldo, that 2-2, it's
Ronaldo
just got his name
twice.
all over on it with the little header.
Yeah,
You can just
all
see
over it. All over it.
You
It's
say Ronaldo
interesting.
to score the next goal?
Yeah, next 2 goals, I think, because this is classic Ollie, innit? You know what I mean? When it's the final kind of coffin, you know, nail in the coffin for Ollie, he somehow survived. So it wouldn't surprise me. But for me, I've said it all along: win, lose or draw, it's Ollie out, mate. So
Yeah,
But
Stefano.
hey,
Manglis says #fund Ollie in.
I was getting excited then.
you'll get a lot more
I thought you were going to say to me, fund Ollie out. I was like, yeah. How much you need?
It's good to see Donny van de Beek on the
Yeah.
stage. Have you even seen much of him?
Not really, you know. Old Trafford, you know the was it Man City game? We were singing it for 20 minutes. Donny van der Beek, and literally.
What, to try and force him to make him come on?
Yeah, exactly. And then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was like, because Shaw got a concussion, he was a fourth sub, so he wasn't going to come on. And we were singing his song, and then when he came on, I'm not even kidding. He's the loudest cheer since when we brought Varane out. You know, when he came out, Varane. He's the loudest cheer since then.
He's another prisoner. He's another prisoner, Donny, lad.
There you go.
Just keeping them all locked up.
I know. And he's scoring. Look at the irony. A guy's left him out the squad. Now he's trying to keep him in the job.
Probably Sancho scored the next one.
Yeah. Just to round up the scores so far, 0-0 Aston Villa, Brighton 2-2, Newcastle Brentford, Watford 2, Manchester United 1, Burnley 3, Crystal Palace 3, Norwich 1 and Southampton 1, and Wolves 1, West Ham 0.
Only the Villa game, no goals.
No goals in that game so far, but it looks like Gerrard is tightening up the ship. Right, moving on. Let's move on to tomorrow's game, Spurs versus Leeds, 4:30. Can Conte bring out the best in Harry Kane? Who would like to take that one?
I think yes. He's a winner. He knows what he wants from his players and his team, and he's going to demand it. Definitely. He's a solid manager, and I think Harry Kane's going to respond to it just the same way that he responded to Jose Mourinho and these big winners. He thought, this is my chance to win something. This is probably, in his mind, my last try with Spurs, in my opinion. He's thinking, right, they've brought someone in for me. He's a good manager. He's won things. Let me have my last go. He just scored how many goals against San Marino?
Yeah, but
4.
Scored 4 or 5 or something, wasn't it?
And no disrespect to Leeds, no disrespect to Leeds, but this season they haven't been very good and they've been very open.
Absolutely.
So if they give Harry Kane the space to score some goals in his first game, I feel like he can take that momentum.
Fingers crossed. Mansfield Town 3, Scunthorpe 1, Hull City 2, Birmingham 0. I'm laughing because you're talking about stat padding in my ear. Like you're taking away.
No, but it's true because at the end of the day, he's almost like on holiday and he's just like living life. And when he comes back to Tottenham...
He's gone on a lad's holiday to San Marino and he's having a piss off and he's having a great time.
I could have scored against San Marino.
However,
exactly. Be a Robbie up front.
However, I would like to say that I think obviously what's gone on in the summer, you can't take that away from what's happened and why maybe his form has not been very good. But you have to also look at the other factors. Spurs have been terrible. The football played under Nuno was completely unexpansive. There was nothing creative about that whatsoever, right? Son in the same form, okay? So no one's really getting on Son's back because obviously he wasn't the one trying to force a move away. Harry Kane also, amongst other players who have come back from the Euros, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, actually everyone, aside from Declan Rice and Kyle Walker, is having a poor season.
Saka.
All right.
Just got a notification. Aguero apparently is retired from football.
Is with that?
Yeah, I
was seeing that.
Wow.
He's got a heart problem. It's a real shame.
We'll see if we can get that confirmed.
Sorry to hear about that, man.
Yeah, my point being is that if Harry Kane hadn't been if there hadn't been all the drama surrounding him and like his mental state and not wanting to come back and blah blah, we would be looking at it as such in depth reasoning why.
Of course we would.
Do you think we would be looking at it?
Yeah, because
like that?
he's a serial goal scorer, and all of a sudden he's this season he's only scored 1 goal.
Yeah.
So we would still be scrutinising it, and I just think it's definitely to do with the move and stuff. I honestly do think maybe Conte coming in can get him scoring again because it's a different grade of manager now. You know what I mean?
But Conte won't be a manager to kind of say, well, you can't find your form.
He's not mollycoddling no one.
But the only thing I think with Conte, and when I look on it, and I said this before, and a lot of Tottenham fans are saying it's just me being bad-minded and grudgeful, but I'm just saying I don't know if his style suits. It's a great appointment, don't get me wrong, because I was thinking United should have got him.
There's been a goal. Brentford.
3-2.
There we go. 3-2.
Wow. Brentford, Newcastle. They could be going down,
We've had a lot of goals today. A lot of goals.
See, that's Eddie Howe football. I know he's not there, but
Onyeka.
He got, it doesn't.
Rome
wasn't built in a day.
They're not hard to beat, are they?
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Just going back to it, I think I'm not sure if he suits Tottenham.
Okay.
Because Tottenham fans, all the Tottenham fans I know, they like attacking, entertaining football, and he's not really that.
Well,
is he? When he was at Chelsea, but he suits teams like Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely.
He suits teams
Man
like
United.
Even at United, I don't know if he would have been the right guy.
You say
I don't know if his style. I think Zidane would suit United. I'm not. Conte's a great manager, and maybe. But it's like when Mourinho went to Man United and when he went to Tottenham. Both times I thought it ain't a right fit.
Well, you hold on. Exeter City 1, Carlisle 0. I would just like to say on that, however, is he doesn't play completely pragmatic football, Antonio.
No, it's not pragmatic football.
But
your players are finished. Like some of your players.
I disagree. They're not finished.
They're
not finished. The problem is they're fat.
Is
they're
it
not
a great
finished.
squad?
They're fat. They're completely underworked.
Are they? For me, when you look at the players like Doyle, are they kind of like players where you look and thinking, can he make them better?
Just to confirm, that is actually breaking news that Aguero is indeed retiring.
That's sad for me, man.
That's very sad.
Even as when you look at Aguero, like the amount of damage he did to United, but just the fact that he's retired from this.
Great player. One of the best players ever to play in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Very, very sad that. Preston 1, Cardiff City 2, Bradford 0, Northampton Town 1. I would say, look, Eric Dyer, this is the problem with Tottenham. They haven't refreshed their squad when they've needed to do it. We only got rid of Danny Rose in 4 or 5 months ago. Eric Dyer should have gone years ago. And the quality that we've got is lacking. But there are still good players in there. My biggest issue is that under the likes of Maurizio Pochettino, they were top for everything. So top in stats, running, kilometres covered, distance, this and that, goal chances created, all that, they were top. And now it's been slowly under Mourinho, and to now with Nuno, that they're bottom for everything, and that's what concerns me. They're bottom under the likes of Norwich. They're bottom under Burnley. And that's for me where Antonio Conte will get them back to where they need to be. They need to be disciplined, disciplined and hardworking. And I understand it got to a point with Pochettino, they didn't like the double sessions, but I have to tell you, they need those double sessions. Have you ever watched Ndombele run?
Yeah.
They need those. Those double sessions.
Did you see what he said about Ndombele? He goes, you're a guy who likes to play for yourself.
Yeah.
Now you got to play for the team. He's laying it down immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, he's no nonsense, isn't he? He ain't gonna mess about.
No, he's not.
He don't play.
Is there I think that's an unpopular opinion that if Conte doesn't think that this is worth it, he'll be gone in July and he could get another job straight away.
I agree with
that.
you.
Because if the funds are not there for Conte, for me, he'll just be like, is it worth my reputation just chilling here?
There's been a goal. Charlton 1, Plymouth 0 in League 1. Barnet 1, Torquay United 1. I do totally agree with you. However, at the same time, I think that he probably will like the challenge, what no one's actually been able to do before. And I do think he does play attacking football. He's got that massive emphasis on the fullbacks. And Spurs do have quick, rapid, fullbacks that can be utilised. It's just about, firstly, getting the mentality into this side, repositioning it, because I don't know what, for 2 years to the day that Poch was sacked, I don't know what they've been doing for 2 years, but it's about building that team back up and finding a way to put Ndombele in there, because we never replaced Christian Eriksen, and unfortunately, Ndombele is the closest person Spurs have to making anything creative.
Listen, it's a good appointment. I think Daniel Levy, he trumped United. He moved because he knew that United might go in for him, and he pulled one. Yet again, he's good at doing that, but I'm still not sure if he's the right fit. I don't know.
Who would you have brought in? I
don't know. Listen,
unbiased,
No. Listen, if I was saying at the start of the season when Arteta was having a hard time, I was saying that I'd have Antonio Conte at Arsenal. So I'm being a little bit hypocritical because it would have been the same. He'd be coming into another team that's used to attacking football and stuff like that. So I would have had him. So I'm not saying it's a great appointment for Tottenham, but I'm just thinking, just sometimes.
It's more of a glamour signing.
Sometimes some managers don't suit certain clubs. I just don't know.
Okay, there's been a goal. Cheltenham 2, Shrewsbury 1, Portsmouth 1, AFC Wimbledon 1. There's actually been not any goals for the last 5 minutes in the Premier League.
So it's all quiet down there at Vicarage Road.
Pouring in.
It's all quiet at Vicarage Road, man.
All quiet. Anything going on in the chat?
Let's get to the chats. A lot of people in the chat talking about, obviously, Aguero, Aguero retiring. Very, very sad day. I think Bernie 305 sums it up. He just says Aguero, that famous thing. So famous. It's really sad.
He's one of the Premier League legends.
Such a great, legend of the Premier League is retiring. He's just got the move to Barcelona. Everybody's thinking that's a good move, and then this goes and happens. So really, really sad. Abdul says, Robbie, remember when all the Man United fans were mocking Arsenal last season after losing the game? What goes around comes around. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but just chill out, man, because Arteta's not won anything yet.
Right, Reading 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Right, let's move on. Let's talk about strikers ahead of this interesting clash at 5:30. Mohamed Salah is obviously leading the way so far. 10 goals this season in the Premier League. Actually followed up by Jamie Vardy and then Sadio Mane and then Mikel Antonio in the top four for that. Who's been is there any debate that it has to be Mo Salah for your striker of the season so far?
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that? He's not even a striker, he's a winger. And he's the best striker in the league.
You just got to say forward now, haven't you? It's not about saying striker anymore.
It's dynamicness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you can't play across the front three in most of the...
Attacking player.
Yeah,
that's
because even like Aubameyang, he doesn't really play as a striker. He's like you said, he's like a wide player.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I will say about Mo Salah is the goals that he's been scoring as well have been against top sides. They've not been tap-ins. They've been some really creative, stylish goals. Yeah, world-class ones. So you've got to put respect on his name, not just for the amount of goals, but how he scored them and who he scored them against. It's been...
Oh my God!
There's been a red
card, Maguire.
There's been a red card at Watford. Man. Second yellow card for Harry Maguire. He is off. Manchester United.
Oh, it just gets worse and worse, doesn't it?
I never rated Maguire. What is this wrong with this guy,
United
man?
are down to 10
Maguire's
men.
useless, man. I said it from day one.
How did we know to bring you here today? How did we know that this was the right game to bring you to? I thought he was going to have a nice day today.
Maguire's done, mate. Maguire, mate. He's overrated, mate.
He was worth a lot. It was a lot of money.
Yeah,
I wonder if he'll be sliding down and cupping his ears.
I can't wait to see
You can just imagine Roy Keane now.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I can't wait to see Paul Scholes, Roy Keane and all them, man, just be...
Yeah, can you imagine him, Andy, now?
Yeah, cup your ear against
Red cards.
Albania, yeah. Right, yes, that is
trying
a
to get Ollie
red...
sacked.
He is, surely. He's trying to...
You know what? They probably are, though, Robbie. They're probably thinking,
They
you
do
know
it
what?
deliberately.
Can't be bothered.
Robbie, they're thinking, let's take one for the team, mate. Yo,
Take one for the
Maguire,
team.
let's make sure. Because listen, I watched some documentaries on Netflix here about the Serie A, mate, and listen, it made me realise, man, there's a lot of things that go on in football.
Yeah,
mate.
I see
Have
that.
you watched it
It's
as well?
terrifying, that, lad.
Listen,
Don't anyone that loves football, please don't watch that documentary because it's going to terrify you about
Have you
footy.
watched it, Robbie?
I haven't watched it yet, no.
Oh my God, mate, it's terrible. And I'm telling you what, mate. Listen, if Maguire's probably said to them, you know what, man, I'll take it to captain, yeah? I'll take it over for the team, lads. And
So there we go.
He went
No,
up to
you love
Ronaldo
him.
and went, don't worry, mate, I'm going to sort this for us,
I'm going to
okay?
sort this out. Yeah, that is Harry Maguire, unfortunately.
Maybe it's a
sent
good
off.
thing, mate, because we don't have it for Chelsea. And I'll tell you what, mate. But then again,
Who'd you put in?
Who'd you put?
Lindelof
Lindelof and Bailly.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Ooh,
man.
I wonder what type of red card it was because
I don't know. Well,
it could be out for the
Second
Arsenal
yellow.
game.
It was two yellow.
It was two
Second
yellows.
That's
Two
one
yellows.
game, isn't it?
One game, yeah. Bradford 1, Northampton 1, MK Dons 1, Burton Albion 0. Well, I have to say, I mean, United have just been fantastic to watch. I'm not even watching them, but they've been fantastic to watch.
If we lose later on, you'll still overshadow us.
Yeah.
I mean, bloody, what's going on? Mind you, there's 20 minutes left.
There's 20 minutes left. I still
20
think.
minutes.
I
There's 10
still
men, though.
think
There could be
United.
4 that won this.
I still
You know
think.
what I mean?
All the football that's been played today, there's a 3-3, a 3-2, there's proper
if
games
Arsenal
being played
win.
today,
Proper
and
games.
still they are being
Honestly.
overshadowed by
You know how
this
bad
Man
it is in a
United
minute?
defeat,
Yeah,
lads.
I have to say it's a bad day for
If
defenders.
Liverpool win, I think they go 8 points ahead of us. If Arsenal win, they go 6 points ahead of Man.
Where will this leave you in the league? Like, what position, lad? Like 10th or
I
something?
can't believe this, man. Where have we gone, man? I used to have the little bit of, solace in just bantering Arsenal. But I can't even do that anymore. Ollie, what have you done to me? I can't even banter Arsenal anymore.
Third Eye says, shout out to Saeed. Spud me G, he says. Alex Matthews says, 93-20, Kun will always be a legend.
Yep.
He gave us the best moment of our lives. Sad day today, but it's time to take it easy and relax and take care. Trust me, health comes first.
Absolutely.
And the DARPA chief says, the Maguire Albania celebration. That's all he says.
And look at him now here, second yellow.
Celebrating down that tunnel.
Just imagine the chain of events.
That's why he should never have done that.
Exactly. And people were saying bullying. Are you having a laugh?
Bullying.
Bullying.
Absolutely.
And this guy's
mental.
done that.
You've got to be humble, haven't you, lads? You've got to know when to draw the line and just
Kendrick,
get
yeah.
on
He's
with
done
your
that
job.
against
type thing.
Albania.
Yeah.
And he's getting a red card here.
Kendrick
I'll tell you what,
said
mate.
it.
Is Roy Keane in the studios today?
Probably, lads. Oh, he's
I
probably
bet.
left now. He's got off, lads.
Listen, mate.
It's absolutely incredible.
my
Barnet
God,
2-1
Lewis,
against
you're a
Torquay, 65th minute. We should be getting those team sheets, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I'm just looking around now trying to see if I've got the Arsenal team, and I do have the Arsenal team. So
Let's
the
have a
Arsenal
look for
team is Ramsdale in goal, Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, Nuno Tavares, Partey's back, Sambi Lokonga, Smith Rowe, Saka, Aubameyang and Lacazette. I'm really happy with that team.
Okay.
That is literally the team that I predicted in all of,
You're happy with that one?
I'm happy. On the bench is Leno, Cedric, Holding, Tierney, Maitland-Niles, Elneny, Odegaard, Pepe and Martinelli. So, yeah, happy with that team. I don't see the Liverpool team.
I've
You
got it.
Liverpool
I've
team?
got the Liverpool team. Starting 11, Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Matip, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Fabinho, Thiago, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Mane, Salah, Jota. And your bench is Keller, Kanate, Henderson, Minamino, Phillips, Gordon, Beck, Morton and Bradley.
So no Robertson.
2 names, yeah. I was about to say there's 2 names
No
that I didn't
Andy
expect
Robertson.
today. Tsimikas and Thiago. Are we about to see Thiago play a full game of football, guys? Is this about to happen?
And
Oh my days.
Henderson on your bench, you happy with that?
No, I'm not going to lie to you. I never like to see Henderson not on the pitch because he's just got that leadership that gets all the boys working. But I always trust in Klopp. He does know what he's doing. He's got us so far by making these decisions. So see what this brings us today. He's changing it today.
This
is a different style.
Okay.
With the fact that
I
he's got Tsimikas
like
on.
the Arsenal team. That basically it's an unchanged team apart from Partey's coming.
Yeah.
Right, which
Instead of
if we're to go and win at Anfield, Partey has to play.
Yeah.
He's been good this season, been very, very good. But obviously the injury problems.
Ben White would be a good test for him as well.
Big test for Ben White as well. Big test for all of them.
Yeah.
For every single one of
We
them.
have a
But I'm
test.
happy with that team. I'm happy with that team, and I think that all the Arsenal fans up there are going to be really happy with that team as well. And now I'm gutted that I'm not there.
Yeah, but you're doing the watch along. What
Yeah, I am going to be doing the
formation
watch along over on AFTV. So it'd be like 2 up top, but sort of dropping in. I mean,
Okay.
Aubameyang and Lacazette up front. But that formation's been working, and he will have Saka on the right, Smith Rowe over on the left, Partey and Sambi in the middle, and then obviously the back 4 wing backs bogging on.
Fulham
It's been-
3,
it's
Barnsley
like a
0.
4-2-3-1 formation.
4-2-3-1. Can we just talk about Jota for a minute?
Yeah, of course.
Fulham, by the way, Fulham 3-0 up now
3-0.
against Barnsley. So
Yeah, let's talk about Jota because I think that was a fantastic under-the-radar signing from Liverpool.
Yep.
And great player for Wolves, but he was exactly what would fit into that Liverpool puzzle, isn't it? You don't go and sign massive stars with big reputations and things like that. You just get small little pieces of the puzzle and keep rotating it.
This is why it's you know what? I'm going to bring up Michael Edwards.
free.
Don't mess.
It's been a
Newcastle.
goal.
Newcastle.
3-3 at
What a game.
St
Saint
James's
Maximin's in the
Park.
team.
Saint
Saint
Yes,
Maximin
mate.
on the score sheet. I forgot to do my fancy this week, and this has just reminded me.
Got him up front for me.
Great.
Lovely.
He's always in your team.
I need daily reminders. Anyway, there's been some fantastic
Can't wait for match of the day tonight.
games.
Yeah,
God,
it's gonna be
Burnley
great.
could have had the chance to be first on match of the day and probably now be booted off for Newcastle. Bit of change. Yes, back to Jota.
Jota has come in and been the perfect player for us. 1, because he's scoring loads of goals, and 2, because he seems to he'd be happy taking a side role to Mane, to Salah and Bobby. He doesn't mind being a substitute player for them. And this is why it's going to be sad, right, to see Michael Edwards go from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because have you seen some of the signings he's done over the last 10 years or however long it's been? Sadio Mane cost us 35 million. Mo Salah cost us 36. They're 2 of the best players in the world right now, and I can't to see him go is very, very sad. So Jota's just another one of them players that he's added to the list, and I love our recruitment. So Jota's been fantastic for us, and he's got a great header, scores loads of goals, fits into any position in the top 3. No one expected him to be this good. Everyone thought it was Raul Jimenez that scored all the goals for Wolves, but it wasn't. He had a massive impact on their style, so I'm really happy to see
And it's
Jota with us.
outrageous how many headers he scores for someone so small.
And he's young as well. Yeah, I know, he's boss.
Oh, Norwich.
Norwich has been a
2-1.
goal. 2-1. Grant Hanley
Grant
on the
Hanley.
score
Dean
sheet.
Smith.
Dean Smith.
Dean
a
Smith.
What a win that will be.
That would be a big
What
win.
have I put there?
Massive.
Dean Smith.
If they can
Yeah,
hold
still
on
in
to
that,
that.
still in that.
If they can
Proof
hold on
that
to
if you sack your manager, maybe
you'll get a
Talking
win.
to Robin. Come on, make me happy, Robin. Make me happy, man.
They've managed to turn that one down considering they were 1-0 down early doors against Southampton. So well done, Norwich, so far. If they can hold on to that lead.
Yeah, let's see if we can do it, like.
Other updates, still all the same in the Premier League. Aston Villa 0, Brighton 0, still stalemate there. Newcastle 3, Brentford 3, Watford 2, United 1, Burnley 3, Crystal Palace 3, Norwich 2, Southampton 1 and Wolves 1, West Ham 0. Doesn't look like there's a way back in for West Ham at the moment.
No.
Newport
That'll be a bad result for West Ham, that, you know.
That will be
Definitely,
really
mate.
bad. Newport County 0, Swindon Town 1. Yeah, it will be a really bad result because of the form that they've been and the run that they've been on.
Yeah, but then again, top 6 was always aimed. They're punching above their weight, but still, when you want to go to away games like this, you've got to beat them. But
Well,
Wolves,
this
Wolves
is
are a good
this is
side,
actually
aren't they?
this is going to be their first away loss, isn't it? In 11, as we
Yeah.
mentioned
Yeah.
earlier. So that's
And we've got back-to-back away losses now. No, sorry, 2 losses now.
But he ain't lost yet.
Ronaldo's
Still about 15 minutes.
Yeah,
what we got
Ronaldo's still on
left?
that
10
pitch.
minutes
still
left?
about 10 minutes left.
You ain't lost yet, man. Ronaldo, look how many times he's dug you guys out. So,
Yeah.
Sancho maybe? Van der Beek hat-trick?
Imagine that.
The only thing is now, though, 10 men.
Honestly, though, you know what?
10 men.
You know how bad it is, though. Is it beneficial for Man United to come back, though? Is it? These are
Doesn't matter
uncomfortable
what.
questions I ask United fans. Is it beneficial United come back, or do we just?
Yeah, but
keep
you
it
never
like
want your
this?
team to lose, do you?
No, but the problem is though, what we supporting though? We're always every time when Man United are playing, right? It's almost just get by. We're getting by with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's no progress. For me, you just honestly whatever it takes, man. Honestly, when you look at this team, yeah, they're not going there with Ole. So what are you supporting, people? What are we supporting? You go and win this, and then you go lose another game. You go and win it, you go lose another game. Up and down yo-yo. I don't like rides, I don't like roller coasters, Robbie. I never did. So I never. That's what I do. Every time there's a roller coaster, I say, Alton Towers. Yeah. I'm not really on that. So
Boreham Wood have fallen up against Maidenhead. West Brom have had a red card for Jake Livermore, violent conduct sending off.
He's always getting sent off in his
Get
Livermore.
sent off. Yeah, you are completely and totally right. It's been a terrible day. But let's say that you do pull one back, okay, and it's 2-2. Do they still go and sack him? Because you've got Villarreal on, is it Wednesday? You've got Villarreal?
Tuesday.
On Tuesday. So I don't expect to see Ollie in the dugout.
I hope not. Shut up.
But if you pull one back, will he still be there come Tuesday?
Because the mano, red card. The players are not playing for him. Oh, 3-2.
There's been a goal.
Oh, goal. What?
Correction. So that
Wow,
goal didn't
that's a
stand.
correction.
That goal
Didn't
didn't
stand.
stand for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Oh, heavy.
Oh,
Wow,
VAR.
that took ages.
That did take ages. So that
took
goal didn't stand.
absolutely ages. Jamal Lascelles given as an own goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they need to correct that on here because
So
that correction.
what was it? St. Maximan's goal didn't stand.
There's this formation. That is very
Yeah,
bold.
St. Maximan's goal didn't stand then.
That's a
No,
4-4-2.
but
That you know.
it hasn't changed the goal. It's a correction for the goal scorer potentially. I think they've given it to us. That is very, very confusing.
That's
It is
crazy,
Still,
you know,
it is
Arteta.
still 3-3. Bristol City
gone
1,
from-
Blackburn 1.
Yeah.
Right, let's actually talk more about this Liverpool game. Sorry, you were mentioning the formations.
Yeah, I was just saying that it's a bit brave from Arteta, to go 4-4-2 away at Anfield.
No, but he's that's what he's been using that formation.
Okay.
Even though it's a 4-4-2, it doesn't really end up.
Oh, right, okay. Smith rolls in a 10 and then it kind of, yeah.
It drops back
Okay.
into, so.
Fair play.
Liverpool are unbeaten in 9 Premier League games at home, having lost 6 in a row at Anfield before this. That is incredible considering how much of a fortress it was.
Like, I know, before that run in when we won that league, I think it was like 40-something games. The only team that was a bit higher than us was Chelsea when they had Jose Mourinho and stuff. Anfield is a different place. It is. When you come to Anfield, even as a fan, when I go myself, I can feel the energy around the stadium. And with
Absolutely.
it's a different type of place to go to. So Arsenal coming here in the last few years haven't really been able to get anything out of us there. So that's the only thing that's giving me the confidence, like Robbie said earlier.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest places to go to.
Yeah,
it really
absolutely. Fulham 3, Barnsley 1, Exeter 2, Carlisle 0. Arsenal are actually now on the longest unbeaten run of any side in the Premier League. It's incredible. Winning 6, drawing 2.
Oh, it's 3-3 now.
What?
Yeah, it's been 3-3.
it's confirmed. Okay,
It's been confirmed now.
confirmed.
Okay.
Yes. So, I mean, when you look at the start of your season, where did you think that it was going to go? The first 3 games in.
No,
Did
listen.
you see Arteta that he was still going to be the one to get you out?
I said if he didn't win that game, the next game after that was Norwich. I was like, if he doesn't win that, he has to go.
Yeah.
He won it, right? Then after that, played Tottenham. He won that, and then all of a sudden, I think that win against Tottenham. Because remember, when we went into that game against Tottenham, right? Remember, even though it was still like, we've lost our first 3 games. We beaten Norwich. And people are like, if Tottenham come and put one over us, he's on the line. His job's on the line, and we won that game very, very well. And since then, we've been on a great run. So he's done really well. He seems to have found his best 11 now. His new signings have all been really, really good. Yeah. And the team's doing really well. But obviously, as I said, this is a big test this afternoon.
It's the closest we've been. It's the closest that Liverpool and Arsenal have been in a while.
Imagine though, I look on it and I say, if we win this game today, which again I'm not saying we're gonna, but if we used to beat Liverpool at Anfield, You've got to start looking at Arsenal differently this season.
Let me ask you a question,
You've got to start
Are
saying
you top 4 contenders?
I want to see how we get on today. Even if we lost, I want to see the performance.
It's today is the proper test.
I think the performance will tell us where Villa just scored.
Yes, Gerrard, lads! Yes,
Ollie Watkins off the mark for Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa.
Get in, Gerrard,
wow,
lads.
what a celebration. My ear has gone numb.
Sorry, guys. I don't support Aston Villa.
Hopefully, that's the only Liverpool-related goal.
Just a few quick goals.
I like that.
Hartlepool have pulled one back in their game. Fleetwood 1, Morecambe 1, Fulham 4, Barnsley 1, Oldham 2, Port Vale 2, Rotherham 3, Cambridge United 1. So, sorry, did you mention Harry Wilson?
Yeah, I used to
Harry
watch
Wilson there, another Liverpool on the score sheet. That is the first goal of the Gerrard era.
Gerrard, lads.
Gerrard era.
Very, very exciting.
That place, you can imagine that must be popping off there, innit? You know what I mean?
Get in, Gerrard, lads.
You may continue what we were talking about, Arteta.
Arteta, no, I genuinely believe, they're in the top. A lot of people have been dismissing it, and I've said it on like previous shows where if you're in it, if you're getting top 6 and you're within reaching distance of top 4, to me you're in the top 4 race. Man United, we're down in the dungeons. You know, Leicester are not competing now. You know, there's 2, and then also you've got to realise, Liverpool and West Ham are occupying them positions. So if you can get in there, win this. For me though, if you win this, it's a serious statement.
Yeah.
And Arsenal can look at it and say, you know what, we can fight for this top 4, because I've always looked at Arsenal and think, why are they always like looking at top 6? Why not top 4? And this is a season.
No, at the start of this season, you're looking at, you look at our team, and you look at the way you guys have strengthened. You look at the fact that but there's been a lot of factors now. You know what I mean? You guys have got the problems that you've got, which were unexpected. Leicester are not performing like how they were going to perform. So all of a sudden, teams like Arsenal, West Ham, they're looking at it and thinking, oh, you know what? Got a shout, man. We could,
Yeah, of course.
There's like one place up for grabs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? And you're thinking to yourself, even like Tottenham have not been the normal Tottenham that they've been
you never know
over the past few seasons. So you think to yourself, there's an opening there. But I still look at it, we're still early in the season.
It is very early.
This is very, very early in the season. We're only like a third of the way through.
And the thing is, Christmas is such a pivotal time for all of these teams.
Yeah, this period now.
This period, December into January, this is where, title challenges are lost and won, really.
Yeah.
And top 4 runs are made as well. Because if I have a look, for example, from a Spurs perspective at the fixtures, we've got Liverpool just before Christmas. But aside from that, our fixtures are quite nice. So I look at it and I think, great, if we can get us a win starting tomorrow with Leeds, which is a nice...
tough game,
It is a tough game, but it could be worse. And then we've got a tough game away at Burnley next week. I think, okay, if we can get this Conte show on the road, then maybe over Christmas we're looking at a different team. We're only 6 points off.
You're right. Because the games do come thick and fast. We're playing. We got Chelsea next week, and we've got Arsenal on the Thursday.
Yeah.
So there's like midweek games coming in now.
Yeah.
Where you're thinking, bloody hell, Thursdays. I didn't know.
And not only that, you've got European competition still. You've still got Champions League. I know on match day 5 we've got another 2.
The thing as well, I think that helps Arsenal this season at the moment.
No midweek.
No European football.
Absolutely.
And we ain't got the squad to deal with it.
That was my biggest regret. I wish you would have finished above us.
That's why I was so glad that we didn't get that. What's it called?
Europa Conference.
That's it. Yeah.
But
I like that, Robbie. I like that.
That's Spurs, from my perspective, needed to have a season where they didn't have any distractions. To try and rebuild. And I was upset actually that you finished above us. I would have liked you to have that gift. Leighton Orient 3, Sutton United 1, Exeter City 2, Carlisle 1, Swansea 1, Blackpool 1. At least we've got no 0-0s today, guys.
No.
That's
No
really
squad.
on.
I have to say, I think all of our predictions are going to be way out.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, there's.
I'm off.
Especially the United ones.
We are well and truly out of this.
I think you're right.
Hopefully these scorelines carry into the next game as well. That's what we want to see, don't we? We want to see every game.
Which side?
Scoreline. Liverpool 4-0, hopefully.
Yeah, let's see.
Bloody hell, man. That's trying to ruin my weekend. 4-0. That would be the only reason that I'll be like...
Talking about this game...
I'm already gutted that I'm not there. I'm being honest with you, right? You know what I mean? But 4-0...
Yeah, well, then would you be gutted if you lost 4-0, though? Would you be gutted if you lost 4-0, though?
Going into this game, right, there's 2 massive motivations, right? Arteta's got one for vindication. He needs to be vindicated. He's done so well in the last 9 games, and now this is his big chance to win against a big club, prove himself. And then we have got a bitter taste in our mouth from the last game that we just played against West Ham. We like to win games. We don't like to lose, and champions don't like to lose, so we will bounce back. if we're in the mood
I
for
think
it.
this is going to be, I told you, I think a really high scoring game. Let's actually get your predictions for this game.
Oh,
I'm
2-0.
interested. Oh,
2-0.
Gerrard.
Steven
Gerrard.
There we go.
Gerrard.
Tyrone
Mings.
Mings proving that he should never have been dropped.
Yeah, remember that he got dropped.
Yeah, he got
He
dropped.
got dropped, yeah.
He's
The manager got dropped and then this
he's like,
manager.
have some of that.
This makes me very happy to see.
You want
You know.
Brighton's manager? You know what I mean? Potter.
Well, he ain't
You
do
guys,
much.
man.
He ain't doing much worse than your guys.
Well,
So,
you know
That's
what I
good,
mean?
that's good to see.
You know
I'm
what?
happy. I'm happy with that for
This is against a good Brighton side, this,
Yeah.
guys. Let's not
I
forget,
know.
right? Graham Potter is a fantastic manager, and he came to
Absolutely.
Anfield, right?
not
and he got
according to Saeed.
Oh, he's good,
No,
lad.
he's good. No, I didn't. Robbie, stop putting words in my mouth. I said he's a good manager, not good for United though. That's all I said. You know what I mean? I don't want Brighton fans coming on my doorstep now and start slating me, mate.
Not on the doorstep. Charlton.
Yeah, Graham
Plymouth
Potter
nil.
went to Anfield.
Yeah, and got a 2-2
And got a
draw
draw.
against
He
us.
can't beat the teams that he should be beating.
Well, no, I think
No,
that's
but that's a
This is
come on.
testament to
That's a
Gerrard
tough
and
to
his
go
impact.
there. Gerrard's first game.
He
should be.
That
He should
ain't
be.
easy.
No, but he
That
should be
ain't
competing
easy.
at this level though.
Saeed, you are
I'm
harsh.
harsh.
You
You
are
are, he's harsh.
This is
That's
Gerrard's
harsh,
first
man.
game.
No, but you know
At
the problem
Aston Villa.
with Graham Potter, what he does, what him and the other guys don't do well is they don't beat the teams around them, and that's why they always finish. Where did Graham Potter finish last season?
10th or something, was it?
No, I don't think. I think he finished below that.
It was below that, but the point
Yeah,
being
so
is that
again-
they played, but they also couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. And actually,
Absolutely.
prior to today, they had
In
been
patches.
He ain't got the
They
players.
haven't
He
been
ain't got
I was singing Ollie's at the wheel in 2 years ago, and we were playing unbelievable football.
If Graham
But yeah, now
Potter-
I'm singing Ollie out because at the end of the day, this is what happens when you
you're
reach your
harsh.
ceiling. I'll be singing Graham out, Graham Potter out, and whoever's out.
You're very,
That's
very
what I'll be
harsh.
singing. So I might be singing Graham Potter's at the wheel, but then 2 years later, I'll be like, get him out, mate. Get this clown out.
There's been a red card at Hartlepool. Violent conduct. Jamie Sterry. He's been sent off. Anything in the chats, Rob?
Yeah, I bet the chat agree with me, man. And you know what I mean?
Do you know,
Graham Potter at Man
before
United.
before we go to the chat, I want to ask this though.
Yeah.
It's still 2-1 Watford.
Yeah.
Man United.
But it doesn't feel like that, does
it
it,
looks
though?
like United have been peppering Watford, but it's still 2-1. You're down to 10 men. If you lose this game, I want to just get. Does he have to go?
Absolutely.
Do you think he'll go? Do you think by the end of tonight he'll be sacked?
No.
Because I don't know how he survives.
He's interim to the end of the season. I said it.
I think you just don't know who to replace him with yet.
Absolutely.
It's as
Yeah, I
simple
think
as
that's
that.
Come on, there must
Because
be.
Zidane doesn't want to come at this stage where he's got nothing to play for.
You've
He
got
wants to come in the summer.
managerial. You've
They
got
must have a
managerial.
plan. They must have a
No.
plan there that says even if we don't go for him, we bring in
We're
someone.
going for someone else.
Just
There must be
because.
someone.
But then do you get Brendan Rodgers on the verge of getting sacked at Leicester?
Well,
Maybe Brendan Rodgers needs a
Look
new
at
challenge.
Norwich.
Brendan Rodgers has had a
He
load
can't
of
even do
injuries.
Leicester. What do you mean? That should
Can't
be
even
the
do
challenge.
Leicester. Like Leicester is some poor side.
No, but I'm saying he can't even get Leicester playing this season well.
Sunderland-
And he's
Yeah,
going
but
to
if
do
you
well
don't do
here.
something about this soon,
You've got to. You'll
Listen,
be worse than Leicester.
I want Zidane or nothing.
Sunderland won Ipswich Town.
I'm happy
0.
to wait till the end of the season if it means. I don't care. Like I said to you, I'm emotionally detached. I'm happy to wait till the end of the season if we go and get Zidane or Ten Hag. But I'm not getting Brendan Rodgers. I'm sorry.
Michael Carrick in his
No.
Can I ask you a question, Saeed? Because you just said that why would Zidane come now? He doesn't want to come now. He wants to wait because there's nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Well, you're still in the Champions League.
Yeah.
You're
I
still
get what
in.
you mean.
You're not in the Carabao. You're still in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
There's 2 major trophies there. So
I get what you mean.
I don't believe that there's
Look at
nothing to play for.
Thomas
Look,
Tuchel.
like my next.
Thomas
my
Yeah,
next
true,
thing-
true.
Thomas Tuchel came in
yeah.
and changed it and won the Champions League.
I
So what's
understand
there
that.
to say? Why would you not come now?
No, listen, Abbi, I want him to come now. But I'm saying, idealistically, I don't think Zidane will come. 3-1? 3-1, yeah.
There's been a goal and it's
3-1! Oh my God! It's official.
Yao Pedro on the score sheet. 3-1 Watford.
Oh jeez!
Manchester United in the mud. I think that they'll be on that phone now saying,
yeah,
Zidane, I'll
man.
give you whatever you want if you can get here by
Please save
Tuesday.
me.
Yeah, please, mate.
If you can get here by kickoff
Please
against Villarreal, we'll give you extra.
save
Ollie
me.
said we're going to see a response.
We've seen it. We love
Please
it.
save me, man. I'm tired. I'm tired.
What's Ollie
of
thinking?
This.
Not much. Go.
Please, just get him gone. Robbie, you're talking about getting back. It was already gone, the game.
The game's
This manager
gone.
has to go. I'm tired.
90
I want to
plus
go back
2.
to Manchester tonight, yeah, and I want him gone. By tonight, when I go back to Manchester, I'm going to go home. I'm going to celebrate, mate. Honestly, I am having the biggest celebration when this guy's gone, mate. I don't care if he's a legend.
Party
I
at
really don't care. Shocking.
Saeed's. Party
Yeah,
at
it's
Saeed's.
For me, he ain't no legend anymore to me. For me, I've emotionally disconnected from Oliver Solskjaer because he should have walked after that Liverpool game. He should
It's
have
a shame.
walked.
It's a real shame. lads.
Portsmouth 2-1 against AFC Wimbledon, and that is finished at Carrow Road. Norwich 2, Southampton 1. First win for Dean Smith.
Congratulations going out to
won.
Dean Smith. Daniel says, Saeed, you're a bad mind. Rodgers is a good manager. Ollie trusts in the
Let me
process.
ask him who's his support. Ask him who's his support.
I don't know.
There you go, then,
I
innit?
don't know who he supports.
There you go. It could be anyone. They're trolling me.
I think Man United just need to be realistic in their achievements.
No,
right
but
now.
come on, Doyle, come on, please.
I know you're the best. I know.
No, but
being the
should
best
I
team.
expect the best? Yeah, from a manager or from what my team? I should expect the best. And Rodgers, low.
Okay. Can we just put some respect quickly on Norwich because that's Dean
Yep.
Smith come in,
Yep.
had a lot of stick about that,
Yep.
only out the job for 8 days, and he has led them to their second win of the season. Obviously, Daniel Farke's departing gift was that win, and actually beating an in-form Southampton. So good on him. Preston has finished 1, Cardiff 2.
Burnley 3-3.
Burnley and Crystal Palace is now finishing that great game at Turf Moor 3-3. Can't wait to see that one on Match of the Day. And we're just waiting
not
for the...
me.
We're just
I've not
waiting
watched
for
Match
the
of the Day
others.
since the.
I'm getting a bath.
You know the
Now you know how
4-1
I-
United.
Now you know how I feel. I've barely watched it in 2 years. Watch that.
Yeah, still not gonna watch
Yeah.
it, are you?
Even before that, we didn't win away
even
from
a
home for
Conte
10
won't watch
months.
it as well.
And that's finished. Wolves 1, West Ham 0, stopping at West Ham's romp. Is that even the right word?
Wolves
Romp?
won.
Yeah, it is. Aston Villa 2, bright start for all the new managers today. Aston Villa 2, Brighton 0. Stoke, there's been a sending off. Sam Sturridge in the 91st minute of the game. Weymouth 1, that's National League. And there we go, that one's changed as well.
Confirmed,
So
yeah.
Newcastle was the only one we're really waiting for. And of course, Watford, deep into
Sorry, they
extra
finished,
time.
Abby.
Villa, Gerrard, win
Deep
for him.
into extra
I'm so
time
happy
on
for
that
that
one. We're going to run through all the full times for you across all the leagues as well shortly. We are just we're just waiting. We're waiting.
Can
on
they
that
pull
one.
2 goals back?
There's been a late
In the
goal.
last minute.
Late goal at Morecambe, 90 plus 4,
thought you said late
2-1.
goal.
No, not that lucky. Late goal at Morecambe. That was all. I'm just going to get.
Man, I can't believe this.
I can.
Crazy. It is crazy.
And that means all the new managers, though, and again, all the new managers would have got a good, apart, I guess Eddie Howe, it's not a win, but he's got a
It's
point.
not a loss.
Stop the
Against the
rot.
Brentford team, that's all right.
Gerrard's got a win for Dean Smith. I'll tell you what, that's not good for Newcastle. Oh, at Watford.
What would he
4!
meant for?
Oh, my God!
Oh, my God!
Oh, my God!
Saeed,
4!
lads.
Dennis with a
Emmanuel
goal.
Dennis, 4-1!
Wow!
4-1.
I think it's safe to say he's going. It's
No,
safe to
come
say-
on. That's it.
It's safe to say, Saeed, he's probably not going to be at the wheel for much longer. You will be out
4-1.
of your misery. 4-1 at Watford.
Oh, my God.
Emmanuel Dennis capping off a lovely afternoon for the Watford faithful. And we're still waiting for that full-time whistle to go as well at Newcastle as well.
Hey.
God,
Bro, I
Saeed.
feel for you, man. Jeez, I can't believe that. 4-1.
Could anyone give me a rendition of Ollie's at the wheel?
Ollie said you're going to see a reaction.
Ollie's
90
at the
plus
wheel,
6. The amount
at
of
the
stoppage
wheel.
time in that game is crazy.
my God.
Crazy.
I feel like, do you know what? I'm a Liverpool fan and I want to buy Saeed a pint. I want to take him out and help him out. I'm sorry, lads.
He's had a
I'm
tough
so
2 weeks.
sorry, Saeed, lad.
The fact that there's people laughing from the other room is sad. And it's full time at St James's Park. Newcastle 3, Brentford 3, and that's been a great game. I'm really looking forward to seeing that as well. Not a win for Eddie Howe, but
finished.
ultimately not a loss.
It's finished.
And
The game has finished.
It has finished at Watford.
The game has finished. Man United have finished. Ollie's finished, surely.
Ollie's finished.
It has to be done. It has
Come
to
on,
be
Abby.
now.
Yeah, no, for me, he's finished. I don't expect to see him there on Tuesday night. If he does, there is something severely wrong in your boardroom at Manchester United. He has to go now. There's no more second
Come
chances
on,
in this
Saeed.
one.
you
Right,
got,
let's run through the full-time scores, shall we, Rob, quickly? And then
Yeah.
we'll do our predictions. So, Premier League, we've got them here. I'll just do them. Aston Villa 2, Brighton 0, Newcastle 3, Brentford 3, Watford 4, Manchester United 1, Burnley 3, Crystal Palace 3, Norwich 2, Southampton 1, Wolves 1, West Ham 0. Got the championship up? Robbie's still laughing. Can you control yourself?
I can't believe it, man. Serious, I can't believe it, man. All right, let me talk. Wait.
Right, okay, you take League 1 and 2. Okay, Chris, Championship. This app is so bad.
All right, I got the championship.
Go and do the championship.
Sheffield United 0, Coventry 0, Bristol City 1, Blackburn 1, Fulham 4, Barnsley 1, Huddersfield 1, West Brom 0, Hull 2, Birmingham 0, Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 1, Preston 1, Cardiff 2, Reading 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Stoke 1, Peterborough 0, Swansea 1, Blackpool 0.
Okay, and League One, Accrington Stanley 2. This app is so bad. I'm not using this one ever again. Accrington Stanley.
Want me to jump in?
No, it's all right. Accrington Stanley 2, Sheffield Wednesday 3, Charlton 2, Plymouth 0. Cheltenham finished 2-1 with Shrewsbury. Crewe Alexandra 2, Gillingham 0, Doncaster 0, Lincoln City 0, Fleetwood 1, Morecambe 2, MK Dons 1, Burton Albion 0, Portsmouth 2-1, AFC Wimbledon, Rotherham 3, Cambridge United 1, Sunderland 1, Ipswich Town 0. Wigan was postponed with Oxford, and Wycombe 1, Bolton 0.
And finally, League Two, Barrow 0, Crawley 1, Bradford 1, Northampton 1, Bristol Rovers 2, Tranmere 2, Exeter 2, Carlisle 1, Harrogate 0, Salford 2, Hartlepool 1, Forest Green 3, Leyton Orient 4, Sutton United 1, Mansfield 3, Scunthorpe 1, Newport 1, Swindon 2, Oldham 3, Port Vale 2, Stevenage 4, Man United 1. No, sorry, I'm only joking. Stevenage 1, Colchester 0, and Walsall 0, Rochdale 0.
Right, let's quickly get our predictions, because I don't think any of us were off. Have you got Lewis's?
Where's Lewis's?
Lewis's will be here.
Lewis, I'm going to represent you today, lads.
Right, return. Do you want to read them out, or should we all turn them first?
Turn them
around and show what we had. And then we can all quickly run through them. Saeed, give me your predictions as to what you had, please.
I had Villa to win 3-1, Norwich 2-2, Watford 1, United 2, and Wolves 1, West Ham 3.
Okay.
I had Villa 1, Brighton 1, Norwich 2, Southampton 1. So I've got that.
Lads.
Spot on. Watford 1, Man United 3. I've got that wrong. And Wolves 1, West Ham 2.
We were all very similar with our predictions. I had Villa 2-1 Brighton, so I was short there. Norwich 1, Southampton 0. Watford 0, United 3. I got that horribly wrong. And Wolves 1, West Ham 2.
And my mate Lewis had Villa 1 and Brighton 2. Norwich 1, Southampton 0. Watford 2, United 1. And Wolves 0, West Ham 2.
So all of our predictions were completely out, but there's been.
No, hold on, I got one exact right.
Robbie,
I did get Norwich, Southampton. I got it exactly right.
But apart from that, there's been so many goals today. Saeed, we are going to let you go so you can sit and cry and wait for the sacking to be announced, because that sacking will be imminent, I'm sure. Obviously, guys, you can head over and watch the 5:30 game, Liverpool versus Arsenal.
Oh yeah, AMT by the way says if Arsenal lose to Liverpool, no shame. But Man United lose to Watford, that's humiliation. I think it's the manner as well. You know what I mean? You can lose. As I said, it's the Premier League. We played against Watford the other day. We beat them 1-0. They're a decent side. They're very good on the counter-attack. But 4-1.
Ridiculous.
Come on, man. In a must-win game, 4-1
Against Watford.
Against Watford is shocking.
Saeed literally looks like he's about to cry, so we need to let him go.
Yeah, please, let's wrap it up.
Yes, as I said, tune in on AOTV so you can watch the Liverpool versus Arsenal. Doyle, are you heading over?
I'm not going to be on this stream, but I'm going to go and put myself in a safe position in London, because I don't want to be in the wrong parts. I'm in Finchley Park right now. I need to abscond somewhere, and then I'm going to find somewhere safe.
Rob, who's on the stream with you?
Of course, up on the stream, AFTV, James is in there with me. We've also got the legendary Chris Hudson. I think Charlene's in the building as well. We're going to be watching the game. Of course, the guys are at the game as well. Turkish is at the game today replacing me. Cecil's there, and they're going to be doing all the interviews after the game. Massive, massive game now, especially after what's gone on today. Big chance for Arsenal, big chance for Liverpool as well. So, huge game, so make sure you come and check me out. We're going to be up in about the next 15 minutes
or so.
over on AFTV, so make sure you check that out.
Saeed, thank you for doing the earlier
Where are you going to
be? In the pub.
Yeah, I'm just going to
be...
man. I'm devastated, man. I just can't believe our football club, man.
Well...
We're finished, man.
Anyway,
pain, I'm so pain, lads.
I feel it for him.
Before Saeed cries, we are going to wrap this up. Thank you, Saeed. Thank you, Rob, of course. Thank you, Doyle, and thank you, Lewis.
Well done to Abbi. Well done. Big up, Abbi.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Oh, thank you,
Abbi.
Thank you, everybody. And also, thank you so much, guys, for the set. The set looks amazing.
Production team, brilliant.
Production for putting this all together is literally exactly how we envisioned it. So we hope all of you guys enjoyed it. And as I said, tomorrow you've got the Spurs game on.
Yep, I'll be hosting the Tottenham game. We got Toby and Fuad and the guys in the studio. So,
yeah,
something went wrong.
We will leave you on that, guys. Have a great evening, and we will see you the same time next week.